we should be live now. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the eighth Cheese to Meet You little podcasting interview chat stream thing going on. So, hi everyone. Let me move on to my chatting screen for now. But hey everyone. Yeah, very exciting today because today we have our first like on-camera guest, which is very, very, very exciting. But I've also been looking forward to this because I've been meaning to, I don't know, hang out with Kate for a while. So let's just get into this, and we'll introduce Kate. But you guys also let me know in the chat if there's any audio issues, and we'll adjust them on the fly. So, all right, let's go. Let's give a warm welcome to our guest for today, Kate! Yay! It is nice to meet you, Kate.
Hello! Hello, nice to meet you too.
Yay!
Wow!
Okay, well, let's see.
Every time I do a stream with a VTuber, I feel like I'm on the Muppets or something because like I'm a real person and I'm talking to like a little avatar of
actually, your talent is ventriloquism or something, and like I'm actually the puppet. That's why you can't see your
exactly.
hand.
Yes,
yes, that's how it actually works. But yeah, hi everyone. How's the audio, by the way, before we get into this? How's the audio for everything? Because I'm trying a different little audio thing. Hopefully it is better. Because I've noticed in some past Cheese to Meet Yous, my audio is always like way louder than everyone else's. So hopefully it's okay. Kate, maybe say a few words.
Hello everybody. Hi, nice
good?
to meet you. I'm Kate. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, hello?
Well, how about we just start off with the introduction? So how about you introduce yourself, your name, pronouns, who you are, and what you do?
Hello everybody, so lovely to meet you. My name is Kate, or K8bit. I am an idol. I'm a part of the idol group A-MUSE Project in Brisbane, Australia. I'm a cosplayer and I'm a streamer, and I'm really excited to be here.
Yay! All right. Well, this is very exciting. Like when people say idol, I feel like people think of like celebrities now. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yes, the famous.
I always just thought of like Australian Idol or whatever, and then I found out that what idols actually were, and I was like, ah.
Yes, Australian Idol. Is that still running right now? I don't even know.
I have no idea. No clue.
Maybe it's something else now. But yeah, so let's I guess start with well, let's go to the gallery. But you are the idol. And I guess quick mention because there is like a Junko cosplay over there, and I will mention like I did meet you through conventioning because we were both into similar things, but we'll get into that a bit later. So I was wondering, how or when did you even discover idols? Like what a performing idol was?
So back when I got into like anime and cosplay around like 2011, and around that time, around 2012, I got super into K-pop, and my favorite group of all time was BAP, who are in the top left corner there. I absolutely loved BAP. And then I also really liked other groups like Big Bang and Girls' Generation. Watching them, I wasn't like, oh, I want to do that one day. I just really, really enjoyed the music. And then I was also super into Vocaloid, like incredibly into Vocaloid. I loved Miku so much. I did a few Miku cosplays. I've got my very first Miku cosplay ever pictured there.
Yeah.
And then a few years after that, I got like so heavily into the Love Live Minds. It's not even funny. I was obsessed. But that's kind of like my idol pipeline. I saw K-pop and I was like, wow, I love music. And then Vocaloid. Oh, I guess Vocaloid and K-pop are around the same time. And then Love Live, and now I am here.
Right. You know, it's so funny because you mentioned not Love Live, Miku cosplay being your first. Was that the actual first cosplay you've ever done?
No, that was like, it was around then. I think Miku was like my third cosplay or something like that, but it was very early days.
Right, because for me, like Miku was my first cosplay, and it's like,
really?
you know, yeah, because like, oh man, I think I started cosplaying like after high school. I think the first time I cosplayed was the first year of uni because I went to a convention. That was my first SmashCon.
Oh, wow.
But like, my goodness, it takes me back to see like early Miku cosplays because you know the early cosplays. It's always like the unstyled bangs and everything. Yeah, with the Mikuing, it's like, too long.
It goes down to my nose. Like,
yeah, but like that was the vibe. That was the vibe back then. Everyone starts there, you know.
Was. Yeah, exactly. And also Miku is such a rough one to start with because the ponytails are so long. I feel like I got so excited and I slapped that wig on my head and the twin tails like instantly got tangled. Actually, no, that did happen. And I remember like crying and being like, Mom, it's tangled. And my mom had to sit on the floor of the laundry room with me, just like brushing it out for hours. It was so funny.
I still to this day do not know how to take care of a long wig. Are there actually any tips of like how to keep it from getting messed up?
Prayers and dreams. No, I know some people use like silicone spray. You can spray silicone through it and brush it. I think the secret is to just be really on top of combing it out. I think dog combs, like brushes for pets, also work
the
really
metal,
well.
the metal brushes.
Yeah, the metal ones, and just like taking your time and starting from the very bottom and just like moving your way up.
But like doubly so because like we'll get into this, but there is Love Live at the bottom here, and I was wondering like, so speaking of Love Live and everything, how did you get into Love Live?
This is such a fun question because I had been cosplaying for a few years prior to when Love Live came out, and a bunch of my friends started getting into the game, and then a bunch of my friends started cosplaying it, and suddenly they were in this group A-MUSE, and I was like, I like to hang out with my friends. I like singing and I like dancing. And that's kind of how I got into Love Live, through friends, and then eventually how I got into A-MUSE is through those friends as well.
And I mean, did you have any experience in dancing or singing before you like were introduced to the whole like A-MUSE stuff?
So I have always loved singing, and I come from a theatre background. Like I studied drama at university. And I always liked dancing, but I was never any good at it. Like in all the school musicals and stuff like that, I always really struggled with the dance portion of it. But I did have some music experience before starting with A-MUSE.
Cool. I mean, okay, we already are looking at it on the slideshow right now, but I was gonna ask you, so like, who is your favorite character from Love Live? I feel like it's very obvious.
Yeah, it is pretty obvious, and it's really funny because it's the two blondes. But Ellie is my absolute favorite of all time. I love her so much. She is my gorgeous baby angel. And then Mari is my favorite from Aqua. And it's really funny because when Aqua came out, A-MUSE had already been cosplaying Muse for quite some time, and we were kind of doing like, oh, who's gonna cosplay who in Aqua? And I was like, I will not be the token blonde again. I won't do it. You can't make me. And then I fell in love with Mari, and I was like, damn it. Oops. Okay, fine. I'll be the token blonde again.
It's like, oopsie. There we go again.
Yeah.
I kind of felt the same way because like, we were talking about this before, but my favorite from Muse was Hanukkah. And then I think when Aquas came around, I was like, when I first saw Mari's design, I was like, why would they give this girl yellow hair and yellow eyes? What is this character design?
Yeah.
That was like my initial impression
Why
of
would
Mari.
they do that to her?
And then like I
Yeah.
watched season 1 and I was like, you know what? She's actually kind of funny. I like her.
She's really funny, and she's got the cute little loopy. I
Yeah.
just think it's fun. I just think she's neat.
Mm-hmm,
She's shiny.
She is shiny. Shiny!
Yeah, shiny.
Shiny. So I was wondering, like, were you just a fan of the anime aspect of Love Live? So for people who don't know, Love Live is like a multimedia kind of franchise where there is like the animated character and games and animation. But there's also like the live actresses who perform on concerts and stages and like do radio shows and all the other kind of stuff. But I was wondering, like, did you get into Love Live? Were you purely for the anime aspect or a whole combination?
Yeah, my first ever experience with Love Live was one of my friends was playing the mobile game, and I love rhythm games. I was like, ooh, maybe I will download it. And as soon as I downloaded it, and this is back when it was just Muse in the game,
Yeah.
and it was like you had to pick your first girl. I was like, that one, and clicked on Ellie. So it was like love at first sight. And I played the game a bunch, and then sat down and watched both seasons of the anime, because by the time I'd gotten into it, season 1 and 2 had both been out. And it was a slippery slope from there, to be honest.
That's funny. I mean, when did you... Because, like, for me, I never really thought about voice actors or actresses behind anime characters before. But then when it came to Love Live, I feel like the live portion is so also, like, deeply ingrained in the community of everything. So, like... I also went to see like the live screening performances of concerts and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I've never really paid attention to who's behind a performance before, but when they actually have to sing and dance as the like characters and stuff as well, I was like, that's amazing. So do you think like A-MUSE was like inspired also by that aspect, or was it more just because like anime girls cute and they dance and they sing?
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I had no idea about the voice actor seiyuu side of things at all. Like, I was just here for the cute rhythm game girls. And then this is before I was in A-MUSE, but one of the girls who I was friends with that was in A-MUSE wanted to cosplay Love Live with me. And we were Lolly, who is the leader of A-MUSE, was helping us to make these outfits, and we were talking just about Love Live generally, and she was like, oh, because of the live performances, and I was like, what are you talking about, live performances? And she was like, wait, do you not know? And
What?
She pulled up all of the live performances, and I was like, this is the coolest thing. Oh my god, I was so obsessed with it. It was so cool to see, and I know that Lolly definitely took very heavy inspiration from seeing the girls perform live, and she's also always been a big fan of idols generally, so I think for her it was both of those things, but for me it was definitely a Love Live to Idol pipeline through the live performances.
Yeah, because I mean, like, being a fan of idols and like music in general is pretty different, I feel like, to actually wanting to participate and like give it a go yourself, like get into dancing and singing. I feel like it's a very different level, especially when it comes to like idol kind of culture. I was thinking like, what led you up to like being like, I want to be a part of A-MUSE. Let me in. Like, I know it was like the Love Life thing, but what like, because anyone can be like, oh, I really like this thing, and then see a cosplay group and be like, I want to be part of it. But like actually performing on stage and stuff, like that's another level. So I was wondering like, what made you go like, yes, this is definitely what I want to do?
So I think a big part of it for me was that a lot of my friends were in the group, and I like to spend time with my friends. And I also really liked Love Live, and I also really like performing generally. Mostly singing. Dance was, like I said earlier, it took me a little while to wrap my head around dance, but I was up for the challenge. And it just seemed like an opportunity to wear pretty Love Live cosplays and, challenge myself by improving my dance skills and, getting to do all of these really cool stages with my friends. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what inspired me.
I mean, we should probably mention that you guys got into like this whole AMUSE thing. Like, were you still a teenager when you got started?
How old was I? I had just graduated uni when I got into AMUSE. I think I was 20, but a lot of the girls were teenagers. Some of the girls were even still in high school. Yes.
Okay, so I was wondering, for anyone who doesn't know, we should probably give an introduction to AMUSE. What is AMUSE?
AMUSE is a bunch of silly little guys. We are a self-produced idol group based in Brisbane, Australia. A lot of our theming is around outer space and planets, and we, as of last year, have released our very first EP, and our very first song release was back in 2020.
Yeah, I mean, so I ask you because like this is, I think it's a more of a recent term, but the phrase, I guess, of Kaigai Idol, which Kaigai meaning overseas. I don't think that was something that was really established within like the indie idol, I guess, community until more recently. When you describe AMUSE to people, would you consider yourselves also like Kaigai idols, or do you have like some more kind of like professional terms that you use that aren't just silly little guys?
Yeah, no, that's the technical term, silly little guys. No, we are Kaigai idols. And I believe that Kaigai idols is a term that's actually used over in Japan for overseas idols, and has been for a while. I just think that with the growing Kaigai idol scene, the phrase is becoming more and more well known. For people who don't know idols at all or anything like that, we've done a bunch of, we hold our own lives and we do lives at conventions and things like that. But if we're doing a performance to a room full of people who say might not know what an idol is, we'll usually describe ourselves as we'll use a bunch of phrases in the same sentence. Like, we'll call ourselves a girl group, we'll call ourselves idols. We usually won't say Kaigai idols in those situations. But yeah, Kaigai idol would be the best phrase to use.
But like, for people who probably don't know what Kaigai or idols even are, how would you describe yourselves?
This is so yeah, like I said, when we're performing, it's usually just we're a girl group who take heavy inspiration from Japanese idol and J-pop. If we have more time to explain it, with the increasing popularity of K-pop, it has become a lot easier to explain. Because like, if you're having a casual conversation with someone, you're trying to explain like what kind of music you make, you can kind of say, hey, you know K-pop? And they go, oh yeah. You kind of go, yeah, it's like that, but Japanese. And there are a bunch of differences, and I usually explain that with K-pop, a lot of groups are assigned to an agency, and there's a large focus on producing like a heavily polished end product. Whereas with Idol, yeah, there are some groups that are assigned to agencies, but a lot of groups will, they're self-produced, and there's a larger focus on following a performer's improvement over time, rather than having a perfectly polished end product.
Right. So you're ever always evolving in skill sets.
Exactly. Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
and before K-pop was as popular as it is now, we used to kind of draw comparisons to the Wiggles. We would be like, hey, you know the Wiggles? Like, imagine that, but make it for adults. I mean, not necessarily for adults, but it's like the Wiggles, but with more of a, you know, not for children.
Mm-mm-mm. Okay, like on screen right now, we're currently playing. I guess this was the first ever AMUSE produced activity, which
Yes.
you are not currently a part of. So, do you want to explain to everyone like
No.
how this kind of came about in the first place?
Yes. So this was A-MUSE's first project, and our leader Lolly, who is cosplaying Kotori there, was like, I love Love Live and I want to do a one-time dance cover. So she got this group of people together, and they took, I think, like 8 months to learn this dance before filming it. I believe most of them didn't have a lot of dance experience. They were kind of like, we like Love Live, we like pretty costumes, and we want to dance.
Yeah.
And that's how it kind of came to be. And even though it's weird, because even though I wasn't in the group at this time, looking back at these this particular video just makes me go, oh babies, look at where it all began. It's
like
yeah.
I feel like super surprised because when I normally think of like a cosplay dance group, not everyone has like I guess videographers, because I was surprised it wasn't just like a still camera. It was like, oh, there's multiple shots going on, multiple angles. I'm like, it seems more well put together than maybe it was at the time. Like for the first ever project, it turned out really good in my opinion.
Yeah. I think a lot of love went into this project. I don't know. We ended up working with these videographers again for, we worked with them for our Shangri-La shower video, which has been taken off YouTube for copyright purposes, but it's still on Facebook. I don't know where Lolly knows them from, but for example, like these costumes, I know they were purchased and not made, but a bunch of adjustments were made to them. So they added a bunch of like sequined trims and just
I see the sparkles
touches to make them shine. Yeah, to make them shine under the light. So it was definitely a massive labor of love for the girls for their first project.
And so you joined into AMUSE, I think you said it was like almost directly after this project?
Yeah, it was about a year after AMUSE was first formed. And this project took about a year to put together. So yeah, shortly after this.
So I will move on to the next video that I have of this, which is a bit of a time skip forward because there's been like a couple of projects before this one came out, but I wanted to showcase this one because it was a little special since it was part of like the whole Muse's movie Sunny Day song. For anyone who doesn't know, it's like the one of the most important songs, I would say, from the movie. So this was very exciting, and I believe this was the first, or I guess it was the second shoot on a location rather than performing on a stage.
Yeah.
So at this point, you're already there. There you are as Ellie on screen.
Yeah. It's so funny looking at my dance skills. There was a scene before where I was supposed to be cheering like this, and like I was like this. I don't know like what I was. Anyway, humble beginnings, right? Like, yeah, it's so funny to look back and see. There's Rinya, who is our Rin there. She has she's actually our dance captain now. She's got a lot of dance experience, and you can really tell.
But yeah, I mean, I watch this and I'm like, oh, it's so cute. It makes me want to like dive back into like Love Live deeply right now. But like, like
it's nostalgic.
Yeah, because I imagine like at this point, you guys are like dancing in a public park right now or somewhere. Like, did you guys encounter a ton of people like just staring? Because that's something I feel like would make a lot of people just feel very nervous.
Yeah, look, it's not the worst we've had. The biggest struggle about this day was that it was such a hot day that
It
between
looks very
takes, we
sunny.
were like ripping our jackets off and like sculling bottles of water, ripping wigs off, like fanning ourselves, putting wigs back on, doing the next take. It was very warm. It was a hot day, but people at this particular shoot more or less left us to our own devices, which was nice.
Everyone's like, those girls are weird.
Yeah. The other funny thing is that our socks kept sliding off our legs.
No.
So like you'll see between shots, like in some our thigh highs will be right up and in some they'll be like at our ankles.
It's like nobody snitch, all right? Nobody will be able to know.
Yeah.
That's
also,
so cute.
The funny thing, I love looking at these old videos because in this particular, so this was like our lineup of A-MUSE for many years. And we had 3 very different heights of people. We had some people who were teeny tiny and some people who were like mid-height, and then myself and Lolly and Meki are really tall, and you can really tell in some of the shots because like Selly was our Hanayo and she's like teeny tiny. I think there is a 30 centimeter height difference between her and
right
Lolly,
there.
who is like, yeah, it's so funny. Yeah.
But like,
iconic.
That doesn't really matter. It's cute.
No,
though.
it doesn't matter at all. It's really cute, and it's like it made for some really good pictures. Like there's some stage photos, like when Selly graduated from the group, there's a picture of her hugging Lolly, and it looked like Lolly is Mother Teresa, like holding her precious little baby. It's such a good photo. The height differences made for some very good pics.
All right, let's move on from this slide because I forgot the order of the slides. Okay, so we have some photos here. They're all like from various time periods, I imagine. But yeah, so obviously the number of members and the members themselves have always, well, not always, but they've changed over time. And did you want to kind of like explain why or how?
Yeah, so basically, when we started off as doing just Muse, that Sunny Days song picture there, that was our solid lineup for a really long time. Did you want me to go through and introduce everyone?
Oh yeah, sure, why not?
Say who everyone is, just give a little shout out. So our Nico is Andy or Ducky, and our Nozomi is Meki, and our Maki is Pwennies, and our Rin is Rinya, who is still in A-MUSE to this day. And our Honaka is Kelly, who is actually living in Japan at the moment. And then there's me, and our Umi is Suika, and our Hanayo is Miss Selly, and our Kotori is Lolly, who is the leader of A-MUSE and is still in the group to this day.
I think because I was checking out some what's it called, the A-MUSE Academy, and we'll get to that later, but I think you guys were mentioning that Kelly, I think, was the like mutual friend interest point that was like brought a lot of people in.
That's right, yeah. She really was, which is honestly so fitting of Honoka. The fact that she and Honoka just checks out so much.
Do you want to
Kelly
be
is
an
one of my
idol?
oldest cosplay friends. Yeah, literally. She was like, cosplay this with me. Join A-MUSE. We need an Ellie.
And you talked to me before about this, but like because Ellie was your favorite, and then you were like, yes, oh my god, Ellie.
Yeah.
It was fate.
It just worked out really well. I know, right? I got very lucky. The lineup changed a little bit for Aqua, and when we were putting together this slideshow, I realized that we never actually took a full group of us as Aqua, which is good work, A-MUSE. Well done. But the main lineup there was that like the main change there was that Suika ducked out, and Pengi became our Daya, and Pengi is still in the group to this day. It's just that Suika was very, very invested in her studies at that point. I joined A-MUSE after I graduated uni. I don't know how any of these girls were doing A-MUSE while at uni. Lolly still is doing uni while at A-MUSE. Couldn't be me. Like, it's so much. And so Suika was like, look, I can still do Muse, but I'll let Aqua, Pengi can do Aqua.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what ended up happening there. And then in the top right picture there, you see all of us in some little sparkly outfits with wigs on. This was kind of our first step away from cosplay. We had a few members of the group saying, oh, well, like, what if we did stuff besides Love Live? Like, what if we did Vocaloid? What if we did Idol? People were just interested in trying different things. Idol Master, you know, like various franchises. And so we kind of thought, what if we made a costume that was just for us and we danced as ourselves? We weren't quite ready to like dance with our real hair. I think we were kind of still in the cosplay mindset. So we were like, we'll still use wigs, but we'll just like make our own costumes. And that's kind of how that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was a pipeline.
I guess like it's kind of symbolic in the way where you're like, oh, we're still gonna attach ourselves with like this, I guess like an identity of like, it's not exactly me on stage. I'm performing as like a character and everything, but then I guess like you'll mention it later. Like once the wigs came off, it felt like it was truly you guys on stage, like being yourselves and, you know, showcasing your stuff for the world.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. It was a very weird experience. It's definitely, oh my god, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's a very vulnerable experience. It's like, I'm not hiding behind a character anymore. Here I am as just me. Hello, I hope you like it.
For sure, like, because like when you're an anime character, people, I guess like there's a sort of like a disconnect where you're like, oh, this is the character, but then it's like when you take that, when you remove that off, you're like, okay, people are now judging me based on like purely our skills alone. I feel like rather than being attached to like a preconceived anime or whatever media franchise thing. And I'm like, that must have been so scary the first time. Not that like, I mean, you guys had like plenty of experience, but like it's just like that mental state, I guess, of like being like, okay, this is us now.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, it's weird. At first, I kind of like the very first time I performed no wig, just as myself, I felt weirdly confident. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, no one's gonna say, I like this Ellie better than that Ellie because there's no other Kates. People are just gonna be like, well, that's Kate. So weirdly, the first time I was like, wow, this is amazing. But then like it kind of hits you when you go, oh, but also I'm not hiding behind another character. It's just the raw Kate experience. Like, what if people don't like it?
The raw Kate experience.
Yeah, the raw Kate experience. I don't know. It's like that's a funny way of putting it. But yeah.
Okay, well, we'll touch on the bottom two pictures really quickly, because like when you put this in the slideshow, I was like, wait, did you guys cosplay for Wreck-It Ralph? I was like, what is that photo?
Yeah, so this was for one of the Aqua delayed viewings. And it was around the time that Wreck-It Ralph 2 was out, so we posed for a picture next to Wreck-It Ralph 2. But it just looks like we cosplayed to Wreck-It Ralph 2. Like,
it's such a funny picture. And then the other one, we don't have the video for it, but you guys actually did the cosplay video at the beach, which I was like, oh my god, that would have been like my dream location to do a Love Live shoot. I actually have I think I have the Hanukkah costume from this set, but I've like never worn it because I'm like, I've never like worn a cosplay. Actually that's a lie, but I've never like had a chance to like be in cosplay at a beach specifically for this.
Yeah, no, I get it. It was really fun. We woke up super early in the morning to go down to the beach because we wanted to try to avoid people in the background. I think we started filming at like 6 a.m. or something like that.
Sheesh.
But still, like, the surfers were there. And honestly, the surfers were not very nice.
Really?
But, yeah.
They were like,
honestly,
excuse me, we need the waves.
Yeah. Well, like, it would have been fine if they had just kind of like kept to themselves, but they were like laughing at us and being like, "Oh, you guys look stupid," like egging us on and stuff like that. And we were like, "Yeah, whatever," and kind of just ignored them. But of all of the like public appearances, the surfers on that particular day are definitely one of the worst we've gotten. It wasn't bad or anything, like it didn't upset us. We were just kind of like, okay, well, that's your problem. Like,
yeah,
that's
mind your own
sad of you.
business.
Oh well. Yeah, basically. But it was such a fun day. And at the end of the day, so that photo is all of us throwing Rinya into the sea. She specifically requested that we do that. And there's also a really good picture of all of us like lining up posing for a photo. And then a giant wave comes and it knocked me off my feet. And it's just this series of photos where we're all standing up and smiling. I'm going, ah, in the next photo. And then there's just like photos of me slowly being like swept away into the sea.
Oh my
find
gosh.
a series of photos, unfortunately, but they were really good.
Actually, that makes me wonder because, like, obviously being at a beach, right? Like, you're gonna get sand, you're gonna get seawater everywhere. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
how? Like,
Oh, yeah.
did you guys ever wear those costumes again, or were you like, okay, the beach kind of ruined it?
No, we washed them immediately. I've actually still got mine in my cosplay cupboard. I've been meaning. I actually think I've worn it on stream before.
Ooh.
But like because we got the salt water out instantly, they ended up okay. My hat has a couple of like rust stains around where the metal eyelets are, but it's nothing too major.
And also like dancing in the sand and the I guess were you dancing like right on the water? Or like more.
We were dancing right on the water, sometimes in the water. Yeah, we were dancing on the hard sand, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the dance wasn't too crazy. Like a lot of Love Live dances are very kind of like stepping and tapping, and because there's so many of them, you do a lot of like you pose and then 3 girls come forward and do something, and then you pose and then 3 girls come forward and do something. So it's not like you're constantly moving all of the time. So it was manageable.
That's the one thing. I was like, how did you guys dance on the sand? Like, even just like walking on the sand is exhausting. I imagine like because you were shooting like on a beach, like it probably was again like just way more tiring than anything else.
Yeah,
and you guys woke up so early.
So sleepy after. Yeah, it was.
I mean, like
very exhausting.
I'm also wondering about like the camera equipment. Was it on like a tripod or like a person like handheld it the whole time?
So I think they had a tripod for the parts where we were a little bit further back. And a lot of it, you know, when we were getting a bit closer to the water, they had like a Steadicam situation and they were holding it.
My goodness. Like even the Steadicam equipment, I'm like, it feels so like, I don't know, professional.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next slide. So this is, I suppose, the current members of A-MUSE. And
so
we do have a slide where we introduce everyone here, but like what year was this photo probably?
This photo would have been January 2021. We were celebrating the release of our very first single. And I love this photo because it shows off all of our birthday costumes. So each member has a costume that we wore for our birthday lives, and it kind of, each costume just like, it shows off each member's personality.
Yes, clearly. Oh wait, is that why like because you sent me a frame for your little webcam, which we didn't end up using, but I can show it off here. So you have this little where is it? Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. So you have this little lemon border, and I can see on your dress is it also lemons?
It is.
Are you a lemon girl?
It's lemons I love lemons. It's lemons that are made of sequins. Look, I don't know where it came from or why, but I love lemons. I think that they're really, I think they're refreshing. I think they're cute. Like, I don't know if that's weird, but there's something about like a little lemon slice or a little chopped lemon that is I don't know. I just think they're neat. And lemons also have really good. Lemons are so good for you. Did you know that lemons can help you get over colds?
Someone in the chat says, I hear Kate eats lemons whole, rind and all. Is this true?
Okay. No. I'm being okay. So Rinya legitimately thought that I did that and told some of the idols in Sydney that I ate lemons, rind and all, and they were like, "That's disgusting." And I was like, "That's not true. I don't do that." And Rinya was like, "Yes, it is. Don't lie." And I was like, "I'm not lying. I don't do that." And she was like, "Yes, you do." And I was like, "No." She legitimately thought that I did, and I was like,
Gaslight.
"No, I don't. I promise." I do sometimes because lemons are good for you. And I have a very high tolerance to sour. Sometimes I will like cut up a lemon and like bite it and eat like the fruit, but I will never eat the rind and the seeds. That's yucky. But I do accept that biting into a lemon, like a slice of lemon, like an orange, is weird. Like I'll accept that. Like yeah, weird behavior. But also like when I cure my colds really quickly from biting into a lemon, you will understand.
I see. Oh gosh. Is my internet connection okay, guys? It says
I can hear you.
We're not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Hopefully it'll be okay. We're not showcasing anything too important right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so okay. What is a birthday live? Do you mind explaining to people?
Yeah, of course. So we did these in one particular year. We ended up not doing them again because there's 12 months of a year and 6 members, and it meant that 6 of our lives every year were birthday lives. But throughout 2021, each member got a birthday live, and that's basically where we chose our own special costumes. Lolly designed most of them because she's got a really fantastic eye for design, and I actually think Lolly made all of them except for mine. She designed mine, but I sewed it myself. But all the other members, she designed and made their costumes for them. So we wear a cute little outfit that displays our personalities, and we also get to decide the entire set list. So it's basically like a birthday party for each member in the month of their birthday, and the songs chosen reflect the idols' tastes, I guess. Oh, and actually, at each of those lives, we did a solo song. And for mine, I chose Kami Iro Awase, which is the opening of the Despair Side anime.
Oh yeah!
For Danganronpa. I love that song so much. So that was my solo song. I sang Danganronpa at everyone.
Again, like, it's so funny because like so you said you watched a couple of like my previous cheesed interviews, like just snippets of them, but when I was talking to Rice Dady, we were like, you know what's the best way to like get motivated and like do something? You should get into Danganronpa and make fan content about it. It's like, you know what, Danganronpa, sing a song, you know?
Yeah.
That's how you be an idol, guys. Come on. So cute. Okay, well, like, we'll mention all the costuming stuff later, but like, I think it's very impressive that you guys do make your own costumes and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, it's so like, it makes everything so much more personal and like special, I think, to be wearing like a costume made for you. Okay, I am going to play the 8-year anniversary little video that you guys had on your channel. So as we keep talking, I just thought that this was adorable. So I was wondering, firstly, so A-MUSE did start with cosplay performances at like conventions, anime conventions, but at some point you guys did you know, move on from it and want to do it, like, as you said, you removed the costumes, you became yourselves. So I was wondering, like, what kind of motivated you guys to, I guess, take it more seriously in the sense that you wanted to, like, I guess, pursue it as a more individual thing rather than being, you know, a cosplay group that performed and becoming like a actual like little idol group that performed together?
Yeah, so I think it's different for each member, right? And some of the members weren't interested in pursuing idol outside of cosplay. So they like a few members tried it and then went on, nah, look, I can't keep up with the like it's a lot of work. People are like, I love A-MUSE, but I don't want to sing or, you know, whatever. So a few people ended up stepping down. But for those of us that stayed, I think a big part of it was, you know, we already loved performing. I love singing, and the opportunity to sing was very exciting for me. But I think the biggest thing for me, and probably for some others, is just like pushing ourselves and watching ourselves, like, you know, giving yourself the opportunity to grow and achieve things that you maybe never thought you would is scary, but it's a really exciting challenge. So I think that's maybe a good way to, you know, one of the reasons why we kind of ended up branching out in that direction. We also, all of us, regardless of our background, whether people had done music before, love music and love idol music, and so the opportunity to explore that further was appealing.
It's so cute to watch, like when I was watching this like anniversary footage, and like I don't know, there's something about like just seeing memories in videos and photos, because like with your friends, that it's like, I don't know, it's so heartwarming to, oh my god, wait, I gotta go back, because like, okay, I was here in the crowd somewhere, just gonna say that, guys, you know, like,
yeah, you
I was here somewhere, I'm just covered in the,
to watch.
yeah, I came to watch this one in particular, which was in Sydney.
Yeah.
So you guys, like, come on, like, you know, I know these people.
He was there.
But it was always so fun to like be part of the crowd, and I would only be able to like watch you guys when you were at conventions that I was also at, but like I don't know, watching this whole thing, it's like you really feel the journey that you guys all went through. I don't know, I think it's just cute that there's like this footage as well, just hanging out.
I think one of the things that was appealing to me, it's like, why idol instead of, you know, other types of performing? I have interest in things like musical theater as well, so why am I doing idol and not that? For me, there's like self-discovery is a big part of it, because, you know, like I was saying earlier, you're like continually growing and pushing yourself and learning new things about yourself. But also the energy in the room at an idol live is so cool, and it's such a symbiotic relationship between the idols and the audience, and getting to be part of that energy transfer between the crowd and the performers is something that you won't experience in any other type of performing. Like, it's so fun, and that is what appeals about it to me.
We'll have to like touch upon like some of the things that are shown off in this video a bit later. But yeah, like I guess like we can talk about this part, but at some point you guys did also want to start making original music, and I will have to check my slides because I do not remember at what point I put everything anymore. But like, I guess, do you want to like briefly touch upon like what was the decision upon like making original music rather than just performing covers? Yeah.
So this is actually really funny, but it was 2 or 3 days before our 5th anniversary live show that we'd been preparing. And we were rehearsing, and Lolly had mentioned this to me previously, and I was like, ooh, she was like, I think we should announce at the show that by the end of 2020 we will have original music. And I was like, we haven't even started on that journey. And Lolly was like, I think we should do it. And so she brought it up to all the other members at practice. And I thought that people might be like, ooh, I don't know. But everyone was like, yeah, let's do it, sure. So at in January, we said by the end of the year, we will have an original track. And we did.
Yeah,
And
simple as that.
2020 was well, 2020 was obviously the year COVID hit, which meant that we literally released the track on the 31st of December. We stuck to our guns, but it was like at the last second. It was like, here is your New Year's Eve release. And yeah, so basically through COVID, we, Lolly spearheaded reaching out to producers, and she found our very first producer that we worked with, Sora, and he gave us the tracks for both Hoshieno Rocket and Reverie, which are the A-side and B-side of our first single. And we started doing singing lessons because of the group of 6 of us, myself and Pengi had music experience. Everyone else just liked music or liked singing. So we started taking singing lessons as a group. We, once the tracks were completed, they came to me because the tracks for this particular case were just bass tracks. There was no melody written. So I sat with the tracks and I came up with a melody. The melody for Reverie came quite easily. The melody for Hoshieno Rocket was really hard to come up with. So that was Lolly and myself and Pengi and Cam, who is our head tech boy, kind of bashed our heads together to make up the track for, like, the vocal track for Hoshieno Rocket. And so it was a very sort of slowly over time, just picking at different bits and pieces. And then, we booked ourselves into a recording studio and we smashed out the recording for it. I think one of the biggest challenges for our very first release is that we released both English and Japanese versions of both songs. So it meant that we had 4 songs to record rather than 2. But it was a really good challenge. And for our first sort of work, particularly because we were coming from a place of most of us not having any music background, and then of course we had to come up with the concept for the release and come up with the dances for the release. Like, it was such a mammoth thing to I guess take on, and I'm really proud of the fact that everyone kind of pulled their heads in and we got it done. So something that was kind of just announced on a whim, we somehow ended up making our deadline right at the last second.
And I guess, like, the photos that are being shown on the stream right now, those are the costumes that were for this release, right?
Yeah, that's right. So these are our Hoshieno Rocket costumes, which means rocket to the stars. We wanted to make a track that was kind of symbolic of us just like pushing ourselves and following our dreams, and we used the metaphor of a rocket going to space for that.
Just like Danganronpa.
Yeah, and so just like Danganronpa, exactly. We took inspiration from Danganronpa. It's actually a song about the executions. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, the Lolly designed the costumes, and they look like little rocket ships. And
yeah, I was gonna say, like, the form of the skirts is like really impressive.
We made we'd been getting together like every week to work on the costumes, but then we had a deadline coming up and they were still nowhere near finished, so we ended up over a weekend just smashing them out. Lovekey and Lolly got no sleep on one of the nights. Like, getting the skirts to sit that way was it took some engineering. We ended up using like Bunnings hose to like make the shapes, and it was a lot. And we lost sleep over them, but I'm ultimately really happy with how they turned out.
Yeah, they look amazing. And like, I guess that's one thing about like the costuming. You have to like think about like, okay, how is this going to perform well? Like, is it going to restrict movement or anything? Or is it going to like, flail around and get in the way of like the dance movements and stuff like that? I feel like, I don't know, like, so you said Lolly designed these, right?
Yeah, she's a genius, honestly. Like, she's incredible. And something that I really love about these costumes is that for the English and Japanese releases of the single, the cover artwork is slightly different. So the English version is like a light and pastel version, and the Japanese version is like a darker and spacey version. And on the costumes, there's like those dark panels on them. But if you take a photo of them in flash, because of the effect of the fabric, the photo comes out with like a white, bright, shiny fabric. So it's kind of like the costumes themselves represent the artwork of the albums, which
That's so
I
cool.
think is a really cool touch.
Yo,
yeah.
fabrics are awesome.
yeah, right? We get to play
Mm.
with a lot of special effect fabrics in making our costumes. And they're so hard to sew, but ultimately I think it's worth it because we get some cool finishes.
Actually, the whole point of the idol thing is so you have an excuse to play with those fabrics.
Exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
you
gosh.
might not get to play with fabric like this in a cosplay sense as frequently.
Mm,
So it's nice to be able to give us an opportunity to play with some different fabric.
Mm. Okay, let us move on. So, let me see. So when it comes to like producing, for example, like Hoshieno Rocket, was it Reverie, the first two?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like you said, Sora did was it the bass track of it first?
Yeah,
So
that's
like,
right.
did they also like compose the rest of the instrumental in the end, or was that like you guys?
No, that was all Sora. So the way that process kind of works is Lolly seeks out a producer whose sound lines up with the kind of sound of the track that we want to make. A lot of the producers that we reach out to go, "Oh, I've never made idol music before. That sounds fun."
Mm-hmm.
And we provide detailed documents about like what the song is about, the kind of sound we're going for. In the case of Hoshieno Rocket, and I think we're going to touch on this a little bit later, but we wanted to leave room for very specific calls or mixes that the audience were going to do. So, you know, we said we need like 4 bars here and you know, 8 bars here, so that people can scream over this particular part of the music.
Do you want to give an example of a scream?
And then we'll see it in the video later. Yeah. Hi. Oh, hi.
Oh,
Tiger.
yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
Cyber. Like, yeah, there's like very specific things that everyone yells. But yes, we kind of spelled that out to Sora, and then he went away and produced the instrumentals. We came back and provided some feedback, like, you know, let him know some things we wanted tweaked. He came back to us with the track. We recorded them, we sent them back to him for mixing and mastering, and then we had our final track.
Wait, so like you guys write your own lyrics then?
Yes, yeah, we do. So Love Key does the majority of our lyric writing, but it's definitely a team effort. Lolly does a lot of our lyrics in Japanese. I think Reverie was a Lolly, Rinya, and Love Key together shared project, but yeah, generally we all contribute to lyrics.
And I guess I'll like also touch upon a little bit of, so apart from the first EP, right? Is that how you call it? The EP?
Yeah.
There was Opalescent a full album?
So Opalescent, according to Spotify, there's like a single, it's like about time or length of like a number of tracks. So Opalescent, like you could call it an album, but according to Spotify, it counts as an EP because it's got 6 tracks on it, so it's not quite enough to make it a full album.
So you want to like explain how that came about? So clearly, Hoshieno Rocket was amazing, and then you guys like, we gotta do more. We gotta do more.
Yeah. So we our next release was Revolt Revive, which ended up on the Opalescent EP. But we were looking at doing so that's the poster for the show in the middle there.
Which is very edgy.
The idea, yeah, it's very edgy. We really wanted to do an edgy concept live, and we were looking at new songs to learn, and we kind of went, hang on a second. We're looking at all of these new songs to learn. Why don't we release a song that we can perform at this event? So we ended up working on Revolt Revive with our producer Flay, and that kind of, so Revolt Revive was the first track from Opalescent that anyone heard. And then in last year we were like, right, let's make an EP. We actually crowdfunded the EP, and we got a lot of support, which it's surreal. We're so grateful. And then Opalescent was born, and we have some of the rewards from that crowdfunding campaign about ready, which is really exciting. It ended up being, a lot of the rewards were delayed because of part shortages and COVID, but we have like vinyls that are about to go out, special edition box albums that are about to go out. So there were some really cool things that were born from that crowdfunding campaign. And Opalescent was born. Opalescent was a challenge because our yellow member Alex has been on exchange in Japan for the past year, and we really wanted to release a body of work with her in it before she left. And so we really pushed ourselves to release, it was 5 songs because 5 new tracks. Revolt Revive already existed. It released in July last year, so we had to really hustle to get that one out. But I'm really proud of us for working to such a tight deadline again. It was, I think that considering the deadline, things worked out pretty well, all things considered.
Just to like plug it quickly, but where should people go to support or purchase any of this?
So you can listen to us on your favorite music streaming service, on Apple Music, on Spotify, on YouTube. All of our music is found there. So please listen to us. It would mean so much to me. And tell your friends to listen to us too.
And for like the physical stuff, like you should go to the shop, right?
Yeah. Yes, we do have physical copies of the CD available in our online store. So if you would like to purchase a physical CD, you can head to .amuse website.
All right. Well, let's continue for now because I will have the links somewhere else in the slideshow. Although it's a bit late now, how about we like formally introduce the members of AMUSE?
Yeah.
Just in case anyone's confused.
Yes. Okay. So Lolly this is also the order that the members joined. So Lolly is our purple member. She is our fearless leader and our producer. Everyone kind of has more tasks listed than the ones I've listed, but these are kind of like, I guess, our main roles. And then there's me. I'm our vocal captain and also our finance manager, which sounds really scary. I used to work as a bookkeeper, so I basically just like, I get to deal with all of the super fun tax time things. And then Rinya is our dance captain. She's our monochrome member. Fun fact is that Rinya really wanted to be the blue member at first when we were picking our image colors, but my next preferences were purple and pink, which were already taken. So she was like, fine, I will be monochrome. And now she's like, I'm actually glad I'm monochrome. I don't want blue. So yeah, Rinya is our dance captain and she is our monochrome or silver member. Hengi, our pink member, is in charge of all of our graphic design. So that encompasses, post merchandise, album covers, all of that fun stuff. Love Key, who is our red member, takes a big handle on video editing. She edited our Love Language music video as well as writing lyrics for our tracks. And Alex, who is our yellow member, takes care of a lot of missed tasks, kind of fills in wherever we need help, and also is in charge of booking us into our studio for dancing.
So like, I guess people, when it comes to a self-produced idol group, because like most like, I guess like established or corporate, based groups would have a manager and like people who handle all of this kind of stuff for you guys, and then like you just focus on like performing and singing and dance practicing and everything. But like you guys have to handle everything by yourselves.
Everything.
So I was
Yes.
like, we've already touched upon it, but it seems like, you know, AMUSE is a very, like, everyone has a part to play, not just with the performance and like the fun aspects of it all. Everyone has like key roles, and like, even though like maybe one person is like specific in one area, you guys still will help each other, like,
Yes.
through
Yeah,
every
that's right.
process. And I was
Yeah,
wondering,
for
like,
sure.
how is that like kind of agreed upon? How is that like, oh, you are vocal captain, but like, was anyone else like, oh, but I kind of want to be vocal captain, or was it like, no, it's like that's just how it is, but everyone has a part to it?
Yeah. Well, you're right. Like, we all have to wear many hats throughout the entirety of the process, but each of us has kind of different backgrounds. So I guess it's just kind of naturally worked out that way based on our previous experience. So I did a lot of music and singing, and it just kind of made sense that I was the vocal captain because I could give people tips and I have a good understanding of where everyone's vocals sit. So when we're allocating different parts for our tracks, I can give people parts that best complement their voices. Rinya has a lot of dance experience. Pengi actually works in graphic design. So it's kind of just worked out this way naturally based on what we've brought to the table from our previous experiences.
Oh crap, I feel like I had another question about this specifically, but I was wondering, we'll go back to this point, but like, out of all the original music that you guys have produced so far, I'm wondering if you have like a particular favorite.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, my personal two favorites are Paper Planes and Love Language from our Opalescent EP. The crowd favorites are probably Love Language and Wave. And fun fact about Wave is that we recently entered it into a competition here in Brisbane called the Cube Effect for young independent musicians. And we won People's Choice at that, which was really cool because we were the only idol group. And it was, people were really, really nice about it. We were very well received from people. Like, it was like a lot of indie rock, and people were like, hey, this is really cool. So it was nice that people had that sort of approach rather than like, what is this? People were very open, which I'm very grateful for. So Wave is popular in that space, and I personally feel really proud of the track Opalescent on the Opalescent EP because I wrote the melody for that one, and I did a lot of research into writing earwormy hooks, things that like get stuck in your head. And there's a repeated bit that kind of goes da 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 da, and I really wanted to come up with something that would like work its way in people's heads and get stuck there. And people afterwards kept saying, "Oh my gosh, that da 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 is stuck in my head," and I was like, "Haha, it worked. My evil research." Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel proud of that.
On screen, I'm just gonna play the little music video for Love Language. And we'll touch upon the topic because you are the, I suppose, because I know all of these terminologies from Love Live, but you are the center of this song, which means, wait, what does that even mean?
Yeah. So for starters, it's not my favorite song because I'm the center, just to clarify. So a center is basically, some idol groups have one member who is the center of the group. For us, we don't have a set center, and it kind of swaps around depending on the song. So I am the center for Love Language, and the story behind that is that Love Language was Love Key's brainchild. She came up with the concept of the song. She was like, this is what I want it to sound like. And then when it came to part allocation, we were potentially going to do a duo center thing. And Love Key messaged me privately and said, hey, look, I've been thinking, I do think we should have a center, and I think it should just be one center, and I think it should be you. And I was like, oh my god, well, I can't. And she was like, no, I think you can and you should, and I'm going to pitch it to the group. So we pitched it to the group, and they were like, yeah, I think Kate would be a really good fit for this song. And it was really scary, but I am really happy that Love Key trusted me with her baby.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is very cute to
Yeah.
watch right now. There's you. Aww.
Yeah, there I am.
Uh,
This song generally is kind of a love language, like it's a love letter to the fans. It's
mm-mm.
kind of like, you know, it's a love song, but it's also largely like a big thank you for all of your support to everyone who has supported us.
Mm-mm-mm. So I will like skip forward so we can watch these two as well. So you were mentioning Wave is also like a crowd favorite, I think. Is that what it was?
This isn't the so this isn't the actual music video for Wave. This
Mhm.
is a video that we put together that played in the intermission of our EP release show, Opalescent World. And like I was saying, that I think I was saying this to Yuki, but there's like opals have, you know, when you're thinking about the opal gemstone, there's like the light colored ones and the dark colored ones, and we were kind of using opals as a metaphor for the different facets of the self. So both your light sides and the sides that you like to show off, and your darker, more secretive, edgier sides. And at the show, we kind of had two acts with our light, upbeat songs and then the darker, more heavier songs. So this video kind of played as a link to link the two parts of the show together. So it's we're like all putting on our hoods and it gets edgy, and then here's Lolly like you know, playing with the water, and she eventually kind of like jumps into the water to symbolize that she's like taking on that side of herself.
I mean, all of these are very
yeah.
artistic. I gotta say.
Thank you.
How did you, like, are you guys in a studio or something for these location kind of shoots, or like the nice lighting and props and everything? Because it looks really good.
Yeah. So Love Language and parts of the Wave Flux video were shot in a studio. Most of it was shot in a studio. The Wave music video, which you can see a little screen cap of on the bottom right, was shot not in a studio, but in a creative space. We used, so what you can see on the screen in the bottom left there, that's in a studio with a projector. Our photographer, Empty Knot, kind of projected various patterns and designs onto us, along with the mood lighting to kind of make some cool effects. But the Wave music video was filmed by Brisbane City Council as part of the Cube Effect competition that we entered.
And you want to talk about that?
The award, yeah. So we ended up winning best.
I think it was like voters' choice or something.
People's choice. People's choice.
People's choice.
And that was because of our music videos. So we ended up getting the most votes on our Wave music video. So if you voted, thank you. You're the best. And it's like, yeah, we shot it. We had access to some really cool equipment as part of the shoot. They edited some really cool effects. Like you can kind of see in the screenshot, there's some squiggly like pink and red lines. They put some different effects over the top of it. It was good fun. We, as part of the Cube Effect, everyone had to perform a couple of songs at this it's a really cool venue here in Brisbane, the Triffid, and it's such a cool stage and a cool space, and like actual like artists signed to labels tour there, and we felt so lucky to stand up on that stage, and so many Idol fans in Brisbane came along to show up for us, and you know, people did calls and brought pen lights, and I think that the Idol community showing up really kind of showed people who maybe weren't as familiar with it, like, hey, this is something that's really cool. This is something that we should be looking at. Like, there is a market for this. So it was, you know, there were actual industry professionals and managers of musicians at that event, and they saw that and went, wow, this is really interesting. So I have to thank everyone who showed up for that, for showing up for us and showing people that Idol is really cool and a valid form of music, and that we should put it on the map in Australia and around the world.
Yeah, Oh, that's so inspiring. I'd be like, you girls are like taking the world by storm and everything like that. So cute. Okay, so I wanted to just like do one cute little thingy because we were talking about like all the members and stuff, and I honestly here's a cute photo of different outfits. Do you want to first like just talk about the outfit that's on the top here? Because what performance was that for?
Yes, so the outfit on the top was our Revolt Revive concept live, the edgier one that we were talking about earlier. You can kind of see in the background there, sorry, this has nothing to do with the outfits, but I thought this was a cool touch for the live itself. We had a backdrop that was kind of like, we each have member symbols, so I'm like a little blue crown you can see up there.
Yep.
And we invited everyone at the show to come and write on the wall that everyone kind of added to the graffiti wall. It was a really cool touch. You can see people's different signatures.
That's so
and,
cute.
like,
Wait, does this graffiti wall still exist somewhere? Is it like
it's
in someone's house?
Garage. Yeah, it's in Lumpy's garage.
Big memento.
That, like, I literally walked out on stage and like had to hold in my tears. This is so like cringe of me, but because the show started with each of us walking out one at a time and facing the back wall and striking a pose, and right in front of me someone had drawn a picture of me like a really with like a little princess crown, and they wrote a nice message to me, and I was like I got really teary, and then I was like, no, suck the tears back into your eyes before you turn around. You have to be edgy. And so I turned around and was like, ooh, actually I'm really bad, like you know.
Oh, she's so bad.
Yeah, she's so bad.
Oh gosh. Okay, I completely missed the cue to show this off, and I'm so sorry. I meant to like I probably should have like organized this way earlier, but I didn't. And so there's only one special little thing for you, because it was way too late when I thought about doing this. So I'm gonna send you a video real quick to watch so that you don't have to listen to it on the stream. But okay. I basically asked Rinya, because I was like, okay, so out of all of A-MUSE, I feel like I'm mostly acquainted with you and Rinya, and I basically asked Rinya, I was like, do you want to like record like a quick message to show Kate? So you can watch that at any point, and I'll play it on stream as well. So here we go.
Tell me, yeah, okay. I love her.
Oh, wait a second. Really I completely forgot that there was no desktop audio at the moment, so nobody on the stream actually heard what she said.
That's okay.
let me play that one more time.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Rinya. I'm the monochrome member of A-MUSE Project, and I like to think that
I'm gonna cry. That's really sweet.
A few
Thank
fun
you,
facts
guys.
about myself. I like to play Sudoku, I like to nap, and even though I market myself as a cat girl, I actually prefer dogs. I want to thank Khee for interviewing Kate. I've known her for a very long time. She's one of the coolest, sweetest people that I know. Always really passionate about her projects. I hope you guys have lots of fun.
So I meant to like get a little clip of audio from every member, but because I organized this so late, only Rinya was able to get one in on time. So I basically like edited the images and put in subtitles in case, because she apologized. She's like, sorry, the audio quality was like ass. But like I just thought it would be cute to have in here, and I was like, oops, I'm sorry I did this so late, otherwise everyone would have had a little message. But you see each other all the time, it doesn't really matter.
No, that's really sweet. Thank you, Rinya, and also Khee. Thank you for organizing that. I'm soft.
Worries.
I'm squishy. Yeah, see,
so much for edgy.
Me is I'm so squishy. I'm like the squishiest person you will ever meet. Like, I cry probably once a day. Over various things, like I'll see a cute video, I'll see a video of someone like getting gifted a puppy, or like, you know, I seriously, I probably cry once a day. Like, I'm so squishy.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, because every time I know A-MUSE, you guys like, we are A-MUSE. Do you mind like teaching everyone like what that whole like little introduction like A-MUSE thingy you guys do with your hands is?
Yeah, so one of the, because with Opalescent, the EP, one of the big things about it was showing off the facets of yourself and showing off your true colors. So our introduction is show your color. We make a little rainbow. Show your color. We are A-MUSE.
That's so cute. And
That's
wait, do you
it,
guys
yeah.
because it's a very idol thing. Do you guys have like cool and responses?
Some of us do. I don't do mine super often, but it's actually Danganronpa thing.
No way, really?
I don't know if you knew that yet.
Oh wait, I think the audio is
okay.
probably doubling. But yes, keep going.
Okay, Khee, let's
Yes.
practice.
Okay.
My
I can
name
do
is
it.
Kate. Yeah, okay, ready? Hi everybody, my name's Kate. I'm the blue member of A-MUSE and I really like lemons and singing and Danganronpa. When I say Ohakuma, please say bye Kuma. 1, 2, 3. Hakuma!
Bye, Kuma.
You say bye Kuma.
Why is it Danganronpa?
I did it as a joke and everyone was like, no, you have to keep that.
No, it's not even personalized to you. It's just like, by the way, let me put some Danganronpa propaganda in right now.
Well, I do like bears a lot, so
Mhm.
that kind of works. And then I also sometimes when I'm doing pose, I do little bear ears because I like bears. So that's kind of personalized to me. But
Okay,
yeah,
wait.
it's,
Do it for the audience. Everyone, get your bye Kumas
Okay.
ready. Okay.
audience, ready? Hi everybody, so nice to meet you. My name is Kate. When I say Ohakuma, please say bye Kuma. 1, 2, 3. Ohakuma.
Bye, Kuma.
I'm imagining everyone's going Pokuma. And then I usually end with thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. And everyone
Yeah.
goes woo. And then we go to the
Yeah.
next person.
Okay, we gotta do that when the stream ends. We all gotta be like, bye, Kuma.
What would your call and response be, Khee?
Something to do with Kumaida.
When I say, I don't know.
Who's best boy? Everyone. It puts everyone except Kumaida.
Everybody on the count of 3, we're all gonna say hope is dope.
All right, everyone.
gonna say
1,
lucky.
2, 3. Hope is dope.
Hope
Yay!
is dope.
Yeah. It's so lame. That
gonna
would be
say
as an idol. I'll be
lucky.
talking
Yeah.
about Kumaida every single day, but everyone will be like, get off the stage. I'm like,
Boo.
no. Like, no. It's okay. You guys would have to accept my cringe at that point.
I'm
thank you,
cringe,
people.
but I'm free.
Thank you, people. The one
think-
hope is dope in the chat.
Thank you, Puzzle K. I love your work. I have accepted the fact that I am cringe long ago, and as the sooner you accept that, I am cringe, but I am free.
Truly. Words to live by.
Truly. Words to
All
live
right.
by. I am cringe, but I am free.
All right, let me move on to the next question. That was really fun, though. So I know that like at some points, you guys don't always necessarily perform as all 6 of you, and you guys actually do
Yes.
have what I know from Love Live is called subunits.
Yes.
So do you want to like
Yes.
introduce these subunits?
Yes, absolutely. So in AMUSE we have two subgroups. They are Camellia and Pulsar. And we have 2 very, very different vibes. So Camellia, which is the subgroup that I'm in, is made up of Lovekey, myself, and Alex. And the theming around that is that it's very royal and elegant. So I'm the princess, Lovekey is the knight, and Alex is the archer. And we do a lot of like elegant and cutesy songs. Whereas Pulsar, they were AMUSE's first subgroup made up of Pengi, Lolly, and Rinya. Their the edgy group, and they do a lot of hype songs, like high tension songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Literally, you guys are the
And-
Monokuma
yeah.
right now.
We are, yeah.
It's even on the
exactly.
correct side of the screen right now.
Yeah.
Inside
no, we-
A-MUSE are two wolves. you got the cute wolves and you got the edgy wolves.
Yeah. Isn't that the same with all of us? Inside all of us,
Mm-mm.
you have a camellia and you have a pulsar.
Mm-mm-mm. So
Inside
I mean, like,
all of us,
how
you have
did
an
the
Ohio-kuma and a
subunit
Baikuma.
thing even come to be? Like, what was the purpose of
Yeah.
it?
So this was before A-MUSE started doing lives here in Brisbane. We were kind of still making our way out of the cosplay idol, cover idol kind of scene and trying to find our feet. And Sydney had a good developing idol scene through the performances at the AGS Cafe, which is where you came to see us, Khee. We were a guest
Yes.
in that cafe. They had a group of idols that would perform there every single week. And Lolly wanted to try to build something like that here in Brisbane. And all of us in A-MUSE either work or study full time. And our schedules are a little bit all over the place. So trying to, on top of everything else that we were doing, get a group together that could start working towards this goal of doing regular shows in Brisbane. You know, like finding the time to do that was difficult. So Lolly asked Rinya and Pengi, who had very similar schedules to her, and Pulsar was born, and they started doing monthly lives here in Brisbane. And then those Pulsar lives slowly kind of morphed into doing monthly A-MUSE lives. And then down the track, because A-MUSE had the Pulsar subgroup, the three of us were like, we should make a subgroup too. You know, like there's going to be times where not all of us can perform, and you know, we've got this really fun concept, so let's the three of us also make a subgroup. So that's how the two subgroups were born, and it works out really well because if there's an event that not everyone can make it to, we can just send one of our subgroups.
That's actually really handy, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, you told me this, but there is like, I was like, what is the meaning behind Pulsa and Camellia as a name? I was like, okay, so we didn't mention this earlier, but A-MUSE was a reference to Love Live because clearly Muse.
Yes.
But the A part
Yeah.
was also because of A-Rise, which is the rival group of Muse. A-MUSE.
Yeah.
And I thought the A in A-MUSE meant Australia or something. I thought that's why there was an A
Yeah.
in front of Muse, but it's because of A-Rise, and I think that's like super cute.
Yeah.
But Pulsa and Camellia also kind of have similar origin stories, so you want to explain that?
Yes. So Pulsar, because A-MUSE, a lot of our imagery is about, you know, we use a lot of stars and planets and, you know, rocket ships and space. So Pulsar wanted to come up with a spacey sort of themed name. And they were like, hey, we should find a word that uses the initials of all of our names. So Pulsar has Pengi, Lolly, and Rinya in the names. So that's how, and it's a space word, so that's how Pulsar was born. And when we were coming up with Camellia, we wanted to find a word that had a K, an L, and an A in it, which, as it turns out, is very difficult. We nearly went with koala, but then we were like, nah, it's cute, but like we really liked the kind of royal vibe. So we went with like the flower camellia, and we just replaced the C with a K.
You guys are like, we're gonna
Because,
make
you
it
know,
work.
why not? Yeah, we'll make it work.
I still think it's so funny that you guys all could have been koala. It's like, hi guys,
Koala.
we're koala.
Yeah.
It's so
We
so
had a
cute.
few others, like I can't remember what our other backup names were. We tried to think of a space word to like tie it together, but nah. I think that Camellia kind of fits the royal vibe that we were going for.
And kind of in the same sense, like Love Live does have a lot of like floral themed subunit names as well.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Lily White and Azalea. Is azalea even a
Yeah.
flower? It is a flower, right?
It is, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
yeah.
But
It is a
I think
type of
it's
flower.
I think it's very cute. All right, so I wanted to ask you. Clearly, like being an idol is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing to do in terms of like time management and like commitment that you gotta give. So I was wondering, like, what are your favorite aspects of doing what you do? Because you gotta love being an
Okay,
idol to
yeah.
be an idol.
Yeah. So I really love like I was saying earlier, the symbiotic relationship between the audience and between the performer. I really love. I've got a bunch of photos on here of just me being silly with my friends, like getting to hang out with my closest friends and just getting to play together and grow together and learn together is something that I hold so closely. It's, one of my favorite things about being an idol. And also to give my little sob story background, I always loved singing through high school. And I kind of was made by a bunch of people to feel like I couldn't do it, like I would never get anywhere. So as much as I loved singing, I kind of just stopped. And then through Idol, I was kind of able to reignite that passion. Like if you asked me when I was a little girl what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would have said, like, oh my God, I want to be a singer. It was my dream. And then I kind of like put that to bed because I was like, oh, that's just not going to happen. And being an idol has kind of given me a platform to like embrace the fact that, I can do what I want to do and I can sing, and people are gonna say all sorts of things. Like people will, I feel like most people who want to do something have a story of someone telling them that they can't. And being an idol has kind of given me a platform to push through that, especially because there's such a focus on growth and improvement. So it's kind of given me a safe space to kind of explore that and get back into it. So yeah, those are my favorite things about being an idol: getting to do it with my friends, getting to reignite my passion and dream of singing, and the relationship between the audience and the performer. That energy transfer is like so special.
For sure. I don't know. I have no words. It is really special, and I feel like because you're living it. It's like you feel it in the moment. But I hope that like the audience who maybe even doesn't like have any interest in idols is able to like understand where you're coming from, because like it can be translated to any kind of like passion someone might have, and a passion that people want to share with others. It's like it can be intimidating, but if you stick with it and find like the right people, or the right people will come to you, the ones who will support you and everything. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, I wanted to show off that A-MUSE also has a YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel, I believe, hosts some music videos, and also like obviously the older or earlier, I should say, I don't want to make myself feel old, the earlier Love Live cosplay performances and everything, and also the live digests, which are little like compilations of the live recordings of the performances that you've done. And I was wondering, like, okay, so because like this started with the Love Live cosplay performances, and I know that was always going to be like hosted on YouTube, because everyone would post their dance covers on YouTube and everything. But like, did you guys ever feel like we should separate our Love Live stuff from our stuff now? Or were you always thinking like, no, it will be in one place, because that is, the history has to be together?
That's a really good question. I think early on we did consider separating it out, and I actually, from memory, think we even considered a name change from A-MUSE. But ultimately, like, this is all part of our journey, right? And I think we ended up deciding that keeping the name and keeping all of the older videos is a really nice reflection of where we've come from and where we are now, because it is a really, like, if you'd asked me like, oh gosh, like 8 years ago when I joined the group, that's really weird to say. Oh my gosh, my bones just turned to dust.
No.
If you asked me 8 years ago when I joined the group, like, hey, you know that in 8 years time you'll have like enough original music that you could perform a set list of it, like that's what your future is, I would have said that sounds fake, like that's just not a thing. So to keep those like humble beginnings there is a really nice throwback, and it's like, yeah. I edited together the 8-year anniversary video at the end of last year, and as I was putting it all together, it made me really emotional because just looking at all of us all those years ago, starting from just loving Love Live and wanting to do these little projects with our friends to where we are now, was really, I don't know, it's like looking back at your old self and being like, you have no idea the things that you are going to do. Like, you're going to perform at TEDx, you're going to perform in a room full of people who have no idea what Idol is, in a music competition full of people who are performing indie rock, and they're going to love it. Like, you, baby Kate, baby A-MUSE, you have no idea, you know what I mean?
I don't know, like I don't know, just listening to it, because like obviously like I've known you guys like I haven't like actively fully supported like A-MUSE because, you know, you guys are in a different state mostly.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, even though like our contact has been limited, I've been like, I don't know, I feel so proud of what you girls are able to like achieve. And like, you guys work so hard, and like, I wish you guys all the best success in like everything that you pursue. And I just think it's so cool that you guys, you know, are all at different stages of life, but like all working hard together, and there's like so much girl power and like friendship and camaraderie, and like you guys are just so cool.
Thank you, Khee. I also think you're very cool. I've like, people maybe don't know this, I don't know if you know this, but I have followed Khee and looked up to Khee for a very long time, so to be interviewed by her now, I'm like, whoa,
Shy.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm shy.
Well, thank you. I don't know, cause like growing up, like I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself and stuff like that, and I feel like streaming has partially like helped me with like learning how to talk to people better. In a sense. There's like, I don't know, I was thinking about it like recently, and I'm like, you know, I feel like I've missed out on a lot of like opportunities, I suppose, in life, or like life experiences, because of like things that I grew up with, like getting bullied and stuff that really like that really hurt my mental like perception of myself and stuff. And it was only until like university that I started like I don't know, feeling more comfortable with myself. I'm still working on it now, like I still don't think like I'm the best kind of person I could be at the moment, but like I'm working on it. I do want to I guess invest time in spending it with people more is what I want, because I don't know, my whole life I've never really had a lot of like meaningful friendships, I guess. So like now is my time, like I do self-reflection, and I'm like, I want to spend more time with the people that I care about. And I don't know, seeing like A-MUSE project, it's like it's all friends, right? Because like that's another thing I wanted to bring out. So A-MUSE does not have like an audition process or anything like to join A-MUSE. No, A-MUSE was more like an organically like evolved kind of group project that ended up like, you know, you guys got really solid bonds and friendships with each other, and I just think that's like, it's a testament to how hard you guys will work together to keep like, because like when it comes to A-MUSE, it is kind of like business at the same time as like also friendship, and like having a balance between that is so important. And I think you guys do such a
Yeah.
good job with it. And you guys make so many memories.
Thank you.
I don't know. Every time I think about you
Yeah.
guys, I'm like, you guys are doing just awesome.
Thank you.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm, mm,
we've always as a group put friendship before anything else. So like while there's a bunch of stuff that we want to achieve, and you know, it is like we work as a business, but first and foremost our friendship comes first. Because that's what our foundations are. Which can be difficult at times because obviously we all really care about the product that we're making. And if we have different ideas of, you know, a direction that we want to take a song or something, it can make it more difficult to work through because it's not strictly business. It does come from a place of friendship first. But I still think that I would prefer. I mean, like I said, it's one of my favorite things is doing this with my friends. But yeah, I can relate quite heavily to a lot of the stuff you just said, Khee. So I am very proud of us for pushing through like our, you know, high school situations, maybe of being bullied or whatever, and you know, taking on life now. Let's go, you know, character development.
mm. For sure. I'm still working on it, but like, I'm in a much happier place than I was
Yeah.
growing up. But I'll still be working on it. You know,
me
there's
too.
there's a lot of like
Yeah.
insecurity and self-doubt still in my
Yeah.
little body.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
But
And I think
we're
that's
getting there.
something that, yeah, we're getting there, and I think it's always good to want to improve yourself, and work on, you know, work on things within yourself. Something that I actually really struggled with initially as an idol is that I don't know. I'll just explain it so that everyone's on the same page. But there's something called an oshi, which is your favorite member within a group. And in the early days, being completely honest, it was really difficult to get over that hurdle, being in your head and being like, what if people don't like me? What if nobody is a K8 oshi? What if there are no blue pen lights? What if everybody hates me? It was really easy to get into that mindset. And that was really damaging, but also because of that, I was able to work on myself and go, okay, but why does that matter? Like, you're literally doing what you love with people that you love. Like, you're getting to sing. This is what you always wanted. If there's no blue pen lights, then that's fine. Like, just be your authentic self. Like, just, you know, so that's, it was like, you kind of get thrown in the deep end, or I kind of got thrown in the deep end, but I learned to swim from that. You know what I mean? So just putting myself in a situation where people might have been comparing me to my friends, or, you know, might have been like, oh, the blue one, I don't like that one. But like, you know, I mean, I'm sure no one does that, but in the back of your mind, it's really easy to kind of get into that mindset.
Yeah, for sure. And like, to anyone who doesn't know what the pen light thingy is, it's like when you perform, like you said, you're the blue member of AMUSE. Everyone's got like the little light stick that changes color. I'm sure anyone who's familiar with like idol stuff or like K-pop or J-pop have an idea of what the pen lights are. But when you're, I guess when whoever is performing is on stage, like everyone switches the pen lights to a particular color to be like, yeah, you go, girl. But like I totally get that, and like I think it takes a lot of maturity and like understanding of like not taking everything like too personally, to like step back and like take a look at the situation and come out okay and be like all right with like the actions of other people, not necessarily like being such a like targeted reflection of what they might think or something like that. And like you are doing the best that you can, and you are doing it so well.
Thank you. Yeah, it really doesn't affect me anymore, like, honestly, which sounds like a weird thing to say because it did a few years ago, but now it literally is just like, looking back at old videos, you can see, or I know myself, so I can see that I'm in my head. But now I'm focusing on just enjoying it, you know, being in the moment and being present, and, you know, feeling like, wow, like I'd never thought that I would be in a position where I got to sing my own music. Like, that's incredible. Like, I can't believe that I've been like I'm so lucky to be in that situation. So being tied up in the specifics of like, oh, but what if a person doesn't like you? It's like, well, what if you like yourself, Kate? Like, imagine that. And that part I'm still working on, but I'm just kind of embracing the fact that I get to do this. And that's kind of what's helped me get over that, you know?
I think part of it is also like, because of what you do, you get to, like, it gives you I guess opportunity to also just meet a ton of like people you might never meet in your daily life, which is something like I kind of want to do more, because like I'm an artist and stuff, right? A lot of my stuff is very solitary, even streaming. Like I'm at home alone streaming it, right? You know, and like I don't have that many opportunities to meet people in real life, to just like hang out and, I don't know, live. So like I feel like that's something I personally want to like also give myself time to like, I don't know, discover and like, I don't know, just be more out there with people, because I like, that's something I struggle with like a ton. Even now, like the friends that I have now, I'm like, I struggle to be like, hey, you want to hang out for like no particular reason? You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. It's all just like stuff that I'll work on it, you know? I'll work on it. Self-improvement.
Yeah, we'll get
But
there.
part of that is just like, I think, communicating with people, and like
definitely.
especially for like idol projects, you guys have to constantly be like on top of it to know that you're on the same page about like decisions and everything like that. I'm wondering like how, like for anyone who doesn't know, like how often do you guys talk? Do you talk like every single day?
Every day, every single day. We have a Discord server, and we have all these different channels, and one of the channels is just our we hang out and talk channel, but we're always communicating in at least one of those channels every single day. We meet up for dance practice. It used to be twice a week, but now we do once a week. And we do practice in our own time on the other day, or we work on other A-MUSE activities, because so much goes into it besides just singing and dancing practice. So we'll take, you know, more time. Like we've kind of taken one of the days out to focus on those things. So we see each other in person at least once a week, and then we're in communication basically every day.
I mean, I find that really impressive. I mean, we are working adults, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like once you hit your like mid-20s or whatever, you're just kind of like, oh, I need to schedule time to meet people. We need to like check our like, are we busy this weekend or whatever? It's like, I don't know, it takes a lot more effort, at least in my perspective, to like go out and be like, hey, you wanna meet each other, and then you gotta wait because whatever. But I don't know, I think it's super impressive that you guys are able to like keep up such consistent dance practice and everything, even if there's no like performance or event coming up. Like you guys are like on the ball, you know?
It's we've something, because at the most number of members we've ever had, at one point we had 12 members of A-MUSE, and this was right after Love Live, but it was when we were doing kind of like the like we were wearing the wigs and the original Idol outfits. We had a maximum of 12 members, and it slowly kind of reduced because people were like, I'm going to focus on study, I'm going to focus on work, you know, this, that, or the other, I'm going to focus on my family life. And when we had groups of that many people, it got really hard. And it's even hard with just 6, but we've been doing this so consistently that we've kind of gotten into the mindset of like, Thursday night, that is dance night. Like, if you have something on a Thursday night, like, that will clash, like, put it in advance and we can try to find another day. But Thursday night is rehearsal night. And then sometimes on a Sunday, it's funny because I usually stream on a Sunday and I have to duck away for a few minutes, but we do something called a town meeting where we get into Discord and just like chat for about 10 minutes, just being like, here's what I'm working on, like, you know. Sometimes we miss them, but usually we get into a habit of just trying to jump on and just be like, hey everyone, this is what I'm working on, have a lovely week, bye.
That's so nice. I don't know, I feel like the in my more recent years, I feel like I kind of want that for me, like You know those memes where
Yeah.
it's like, I wish that were me for real. It's like that's me.
For real.
I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, I want that like weekly like update, just see what everyone's up to in their lives.
Yeah.
That's cute. That's nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I should like think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I wanted to mention from the YouTube channel was the AMUSE Academy little podcast thing that was going
Yeah.
on. That was like
That was
a year
fun.
ago, or something. So
Yeah.
so tell me, like these uniforms that are on the photo right now, was
Yeah.
that like created especially for AMUSE Academy? And what is AMUSE Academy?
Yes. So, A-MUSE Academy is the name of our podcast that we released every month over the course of last year. I mean, not every month. Obviously, we only did 7 of them. But we
I think
kind
there were
of...
8.
8?
8 or
Okay,
so.
I can only see
I don't
7.
remember.
Oopsies. Yeah, no,
It doesn't matter.
No, probably 7 or 8. But basically how it worked is we structured it like a school. So we had 2 first years and 2 second years and 2 third years. And that's based on our ages. So myself and Pengi are the third years, and Lovekey and Rinya are the second years, and Alex and Lolly are the first years. And we took turns hosting a podcast with different topics as if it was subjects in school. So homeroom was kind of like everyone, it was like the intro, so we all kind of hosted it together and talked about our backstory. Lolly was the we did class captains, so the class captains would host the podcast. So Lolly was the class captain for history, I was the class captain for music, and I also think I hosted the Christmas special, because if there's another thing you need to know about me, it is that I love Christmas so much. One of my A-MUSE dreams is to make a Christmas song. I think it would be so fun.
Oh my god.
And then,
That would be
yeah.
iconic.
Yeah, it would be fun.
But
I
would it,
actually have a
okay,
few
listen,
ideas for
would it
Christmas
be
songs.
would it be snow? Would it be about snow? Because you know, Australia, we don't have snow.
Yeah. No, that's like yeah, I have a couple of ideas in the back of my mind for Christmas songs.
Mhm.
But I want to make something that is for the Southern Hemisphere Christmas people, because
Hell
like
yeah.
it's hot here.
We're gonna be like
I don't want to hear
swimming,
yeah,
swimming
yeah,
in Christmas.
exactly. Like yeah, you should write it, Key. That was good. Yeah. That I want a summer Christmas song, like, and one that's so okay. The two flavors of Australia Christmas song are like Grandma got run over by a reindeer, and it's like there's wobble boards, and it's like wob wob wob, like it's not like a cute, fun Christmassy song. Or the ones that aren't about snow are about romance.
Yeah.
And
Snow
if it
halation,
is,
guilty.
Like, sometimes, yeah, snow halation, yeah.
Even though
So
it's
I'm
not a
like,
Christmas
it'd
song.
be- yeah.
It might
It'd
as well
fun
be.
to have like a Christmas song that is just summary, like just and that would fit the very niche people of like Australia and anyone else who experiences Christmas in the Southern Hemisphere. But I think it's something that we need.
Hot girl summer Christmas.
Yeah, that'll be the name of the song. Hot Girl Summer Christmas. Yeah.
For sure. That sounds fun. Oh my gosh. Well, I can't wait for that to become a reality someday. Someday.
Yeah. One
And then
day,
it'll be a
one
Christmas
day.
tradition to put it on.
Yeah.
Which
Everyone
reminds
has to
me,
listen
there
to
is
Amy's
also
Christmas song.
I learned about the Christmas tradition of like the movie that you guys watch, which is like something church girl.
Yes, I take it you've seen A-MUSE Academy episode 4, Christmas special.
Yes.
Yes, so we every year do a Secret Santa, and one year after doing our annual Secret Santa, we were watching Christmas movies on Netflix, and one that came up was a movie called I'm in Love with a Church Girl, and it was written by Ja Rule and starring Ja Rule and produced by Ja Rule. Actually, no, he'd put executive producer God. It was about Ja Rule finding love and God at Christmas time, and it is quite possibly the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life, just because it is Ja Rule talking about Ja Rule, and everyone is like, all the other characters are like, wow, I can't remember what Ja Rule's character's name is, but like he'll walk in and say something and then leave, and everyone will be like, wow, don't you think that Ja Rule is so hot and so sexy and so smart and so good? Yeah, I agree. I think he's the best ever. It's like all just like Ja Rule patting himself on the back, and there is like the plot is just ridiculous, and we watch it every year.
Willingly?
Every year I say Lolly loves it. Lovey actually gave Lolly like
The physical
last
DVD
year
or something.
no, the year before last year, because I always organize it. Lovey messaged me privately and she was like, you need to rig Secret Santa so that I have Lolly. She was like, you need to rig it because I went to a video store and asked specifically for them to get in I'm in love with a church girl, and the video store was apparently like, what are you talking about? And she was like, it's a movie by Ja Rule, directed by Ja Rule, starring Ja Rule, produced by God, you need to find it. And they ended up finding it, and they ordered it in specifically for her. And yeah, we rigged Secret Santa so that live on A-MUSE Academy we could gift Lolly the DVD. And every single year Lolly goes, yep, okay, it's time for I'm in love with a church girl. And every year I go, Lolly, no, please, I'm not strong enough, but we still do it. So not willingly from me, but willingly from Lolly.
Kate, you gotta
It's
realize
like-
it's a Christmas miracle that
It's a Christmas miracle.
The
It's
DVD
true.
was found.
Yeah. It's exactly a Christmas miracle. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, little Christmas things.
Yeah, little Christmas. Okay. Well, moving on from that, you do have the A-MUSE Project Twitch channel, which is that where
Yes.
all the streamed live performances go?
Yeah, that's right. So where we can, we will stream our live shows. We can't always, but where we can, we'll stream them on Twitch. And that's where we do it.
So everyone, go follow them on Twitch to watch them. To go watch.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, you know, watching a music video versus watching a live performance, there's always going to be differences, but the energy of a live performance cannot be like beat.
Yeah, definitely. Particularly for something like Idol.
All right. So I wanted to ask, so, you know, clearly, being an idol, it's not easy. And we've like touched upon this before, but like, what how or what challenges do you face as a group or as a member of an independent idol group? Like, because obviously spreading awareness about your group, you don't have like a marketing team or anything like that. It's mainly, I think, word of mouth, right? Or financing or planning events or like scheduling deadlines, that kind of thing. Because idling is definitely not any one of you guys' like full-time career. It's like your side hustle, I suppose. You're very
I wish
dedicated.
It was my full-time career.
You're very dedicated side hustle, and I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about like what are some of the challenges that you face?
Yeah, so you're right, like, you know, it's none of our full-time job, but it does require full-time job hours. There's just so much that goes into it. And I think one of the most difficult aspects is that a lot of people, like, I think it takes a creative to kind of understand the scope of what goes into it. A lot of people kind of assume that we have a team, even though we say we're self-produced. People kind of go, oh, but you've got an agent. Oh, but you've got a team that handles your orders and merchandising and all of that stuff, right? And it's kind of like, no, this is entirely up to the 6 of us. And it's the 5 of us currently because Alex is currently on exchange. She does get back in a week though, so that's exciting.
Yes.
But, you know, it's like, I think a lot of people just don't, like, people make assumptions like, oh no, well you can just do this because like your manager will sort it out, and it's like, we don't have a manager, we don't have a marketing manager, we have to market ourselves. It's also been, so I've put some pictures there of our 5th anniversary live show. We had a fantastic turnout, like people flew from interstate to come and see this live. It was really cool, but it was to date the most difficult and stressful live show that we'd put together, because for one thing, we'd never held an event of this scale before, and we had an event, like a location booked in for it, and we'd gotten a quote and we were like, yep, that sounds good. And then we followed up closer to the date, and they were like, the quote had like quadrupled, and we were like, it was like $10,000 or something like that to hire the space and everything, and we were like, that is not what we agreed. And they were like, oh, I can't remember how they tried to justify it, but we were like, no, there's no way, we can't. And they were like, okay, sorry. So we had to cancel. This is after the announcement for the live had already gone out. So we had to cancel that venue, and it was on the 5th of January, so right after Christmas. Most venues are either booked out because it's around Christmas, or they're not open because it's around Christmas. So we had to, I remember I called in sick to work, and I went to Lolly's house, and we just spent the whole day calling up every single venue in Brisbane, just being like, please take us in. And they were like, we eventually found this one place that did, and because it was basically a giant community hall, and we basically had to deck it up entirely ourselves, and it was so stressful. And I tell this story because one of the most difficult things about it is having to learn on the fly, because of budgetary constraints. Like, it's hard, but also I feel like we learn a lot through it, and things obviously get easier, but there's always new challenges that pop up due to things like that. It was super stressful, but the event was a huge success, and to this day it's one of my favorite shows we've ever done.
My
despite
goodness.
Everything.
Oh my god, I hate that they did that to you guys. Like, just hearing that makes me so infuriated. I'm like, what? How could they do that? Was it not like set in writing or something beforehand? And so they were like,
it
oh,
was
actually.
In writing, but look, I don't know. It was like, because I think it was the hire of the place that was, I can't remember how much it was, but it was within the budget. And then they were like, oh, but you need security, and because of this you need someone to license the bar, and because of this you need this, and there was just like all these extra charges that they didn't tell us about up front. And we were like, hello, like, it was ridiculous. And I do think that maybe it was so long ago now that it's hard to remember. There could have been an element of we didn't read the fine print, and that's on us. But still, it was like, that's not what we thought the situation was at all. So we had to really quickly put everything together. We also built the balloon arch from scratch in the background.
It's very well done, I will say.
It was cute. It took like most of the day to set it up, but it was really fun. And it was a 2-day event as well, so we needed to find a venue that would hold us for 2 days.
Oh wow.
But things like that, just basically, like, it's hard but rewarding to kind of force yourself to learn all of these new skills and wear many different hats.
I mean, I'm really glad that like the live did happen, because like not only would have canceling the whole thing been like super disappointing for you, but everyone else would have been like also like really upset. I think no like fault of your own, but it's like it would have just been like such a, I don't know, bad experience for everyone, and like kind of disheartening is the right word. But I'm super glad that it worked out, and it, like, I don't know, these photos are so cute.
I think all things considered, it worked out well. And one of my favorite things about our fearless leader Lolly is that she is so determined. There was no way that this event was not going to happen. Like, we were going to find a venue that would hold us, and we were going to make it work. And
oh my gosh,
thankfully we did. This place, seriously, it was just a stage in a giant community hall, and it was in the middle of summer, and there were no aircons, so we had to hire fans, and we bought all of this bottled water to give out to the woters in the water pit. worders
Uh-huh.
are the people that do the wordage with the lights and the jumping and stuff like that. We
Yeah.
made like a giant water station, and we put a big sign that said "Water for Wotas," so that they could, it was so hot, so we made sure that everyone was hydrated. So all things considered, it worked out well.
Okay.
And this
You know
was
what?
the event that we announced that we were going to do original music.
Oh, it was this one. That's so cool. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
We were talking about Water. Let me
Yes.
just put on this video. So for anyone who doesn't know what the Water is, this isn't you guys, but that's like a little reference video of like idols, and then you can see in the crowd over there's like a whole bunch of people like dancing around, but it's a little small to see. But this is a segment.
Yes. So this dance is called A-MUSE. It's what we actually cover. We cover this dance, and the audience has to dance along with you. And in this video of us at our Spring Bloom Live, we actually made big signs so that people would know what to yell. This was
Let me go
the theme
back
of
to
this
it.
live was
Whoops.
like, yeah.
Wait,
The-
for one
the
sec,
theme
I'm
was
gonna
like
play
a
the audio for
celebration.
it.
Yeah, you're
I'm
good.
gonna play the audio for
Yeah,
it so that
that's
people
cool.
can hear it. Okay. Okay, continue.
Yeah. No, we just like the whole theming around this live was a celebration of Idol and J-pop. And so we really wanted to show off like, these are the, like, for anyone that doesn't actually know, because a lot of the people in the crowd do know, but just in case you don't, these are the words that you're yelling. And then we also, incorporated UOs, which, if anyone is familiar with snow halation, during the Ketcha or Hanukkah solo, everyone cracks a UO, which is a really, really bright light stick that glows super brightly for about 10 minutes. And you're supposed to crack them out in your favorite part of a song, or the most energetic part of a song. So we were basically just showing off all different parts, and we were encouraging the audience to go as feral as possible, just to celebrate Idol and Idol culture. And we also got someone up from the audience to dance with us, which was really fun.
Yo, lucky person.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, for anyone unfamiliar with what we're talking about, so if you watch any like of the live performances of like snow halation, at the point where they go like "Todoke desu,
Todoke desu,"
like they bring out the super orange pen light.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing to see. But speaking of pen lights and stuff like that, you guys also not only sell your physical albums and singles, you guys also have a bunch of other merch. One of was a pen light as well, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So this is on the amuseproject.com /store, which I have showing on the screen right now. But I was wondering, so like what goes into creating other kinds of merchandise, and specifically what is a checkie? For people who don't know.
Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, I actually have one. I've got a couple here from my streams that I need to send out.
Ooh,
But
wait.
it's a Polaroid photo of, if you take it at a show, it's you and another member. And if it's not, you can just buy it online, and sometimes you can buy them decorated. So here's one that I've got of Pengi. So it's a sign, basically Polaroid photo of a member, or if it's a live event, or of you and the member. And sometimes they're signed and sometimes they're not signed. Here's a cosplay one that I did in March that I need to send out for my birthday stream. No, like this year has been actually completely cooked. So I've got these ready to send. I just need to actually send them out. But yeah, so those get sent out. Polaroid photo of your favorite idol or the idol group, or of you and the idol if it's an in-person event.
And you guys also have like some apparel. So like, I mean, I feel like apparel, it's like, it seems obvious, you want to support a group you like, you buy their apparel. But at the same time, it's like, as a self-produced thing, like, making apparel seems like way more in depth than just selling a checky or like a little acrylic keychain, because you've got to think about sizing, design, quality of the print, and like of the actual like clothing item. I was wondering, like, how is that all handled?
So our Pengi is our graphic designer, and she does an absolutely excellent job of the actual designs of the merchandise itself. So it usually starts off with all of us having some kind of idea for a piece of merchandise, and then Pengi will come up with a design. We'll have a look around for a supplier. Quality is really important to us. We've gone through a few different t-shirt manufacturers over the years, but the one that we've got currently, we find their shirt quality to be the nicest. And then it like depends on whether you're doing embroidery or sublimation or screen printing of the design. Like, it depends on, you know, where you supply them from. We've been absolutely smacked with some horrendous delays. That's been an issue, like a difficulty with producing merchandise. Like, we've finally gotten a shipment of pen lights in, but they're, you know, COVID has really impacted shipping and production and stuff like that. So that has been a difficulty when it comes to merch. But as things are slowly starting to get back to normal now, we can now sell and produce merch in a normal way, which is thank goodness for that, right? Like, it's been a difficult time for everybody, and I'm really excited that we actually, like, we have our shipment of pen lights. We can sell pen lights again, but we were without them for a really long time.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll have to get one next time I'm at a convention. I gotta get one. I gotta go get my
I
A-MUSE
should have
merch.
brought mine. I should have brought my pen light in here to show you guys. But yeah, they're very fun. They're battery operated. You can change the color in them, like, you know, while you're watching a live, you can change to all sorts of colors. And we also have keychains of a few of our costumes there as well.
I think that is adorable.
Yeah, I think they're really cute. Pengi, like I said, I absolutely love Pengi's work. So the fact that she designs all of our stuff, I'm like, yay! We have some cute keychains and stuff like that. Oh, keychain, do you get it?
Yes, keychains. Maybe they should be. Maybe for a love key, you should call them love keychains.
Love keychains, that's cute. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can be Kate Chain.
Kate chain.
Kate chains.
Yeah. Kate
Oh my
chains.
gosh. Okay, so I was wondering, apart from all of these things, do you guys have any like plans for other kinds of merch in the future?
We've always got ideas for different merch that we'd like to release, and we really like to come up with different merchandise items to go along with music releases to match kind of the vibe. So for example, for Opalescent, a lot of the merch around that was really dreamy and like iridescent and had like iridescent finishes on them. So there's definitely like ideas and things that we'd like to make. I'm not necessarily allowed to talk about them because, you know, watch this space.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah.
we will like tease everybody.
Yeah. Although it does make me curious, like what kind of merchandise is there anything that you guys would like to see, you know? It really, I think different people are after different things, and I feel like merch is kind of like you don't know what you want until you see it. But if there's if anyone's like, oh, I want a hat, we have hats, but you know, we had a big request for socks, and we ended up making Revolt Revive socks, which were fun. But yeah, let me know if you guys want any, if there's any merch items that you guys would like to see. Definitely let me know.
Oh, someone's saying tattoo designs. You can make temporary tattoos.
Tattoo designs. That would be cool. Shorts, A-MUSE shorts would be fun. And you can get your Oshi's name across the bum.
yes. That's the one, like, people, like, in the audience, they, like, start taking off their pants and, like, show you their names across their ass. Don't do that.
Hey, this is for you.
Alright, guys, don't actually. You're like, whoa, con security comes get you. All right. Well, like we were mentioning the Watergate before. Where was it? Oh, I think it's actually after this. So the Watergate, right? Is that actually like choreographed, like the actual like timing with your songs, or is that just like the Watergate group go away, listen to a song, and they like all coordinate together?
Yeah.
Like, all right, guys, this is what I gotta do.
There's different types of mixes. So there's the one, I think Nova said it in the chat earlier, the one that we made signs for, that's the Japanese mix. There's an English mix, there's a bread mix, a pun mix. There's like all sorts of different, there's a gachikoi mix, and you basically learn them and they kind of get inserted into parts of the song where it makes sense. A lot of the time, I believe the audience, like who are fans of the group, come up with the order that those chants should be said, or like where it fits best in the song. Or for example, it goes like generally you start with it goes over like certain like bars of 8 or 16, I can't remember, but you do actually probably would be 16. But you start with the Japanese mix, and then the next time a gap appears in the song, you do the English mix. Like that. So there's certain orders that they kind of go in. So once you kind of know the different mixes, and you can kind of hear the people around you doing them, you kind of know when to do them. And there's other things like there's something called copy, which is where like sometimes an idol will have a dance move that is easy to copy, and while we're dancing along, the audience members do the same thing. So that can often be things like simple as waves, or there's the song Nerve, where you have to try to touch our finger. We like swirl our finger, and the audience swirls their finger back at us. The oidamase one that I was talking about earlier, everyone, like we jump like this on the stage and spin around, and the whole audience does it as well. So there's lots of different types and different ways that can be incorporated. I do think sometimes it's decided by the idols, like when they should be done, but a lot of the time I'm pretty sure that the voters come up with where the mixes go and what the official calls are. Sometimes there's ones where you like kind of go Kate, love key, like after a member does a line, you kind of go and then you call their name. Or there's like, omae ga ichiban, Kate, like you just kind of, there's like different words. It's there's probably resources online for it, to be honest.
I think that's very cute. I don't know, it's like again, like the audience interaction, everyone gets hyped, not only are the idols performing, you also perform for them.
Yeah, exactly, it's the symbiotic transfer of energy that I've been talking about.
Okay, speaking of performances, I've been wondering, what are some of the most memorable performances or funny memories you've ever done over the time of performing with A-MUSE? And I think this one is kind of hilarious. So, how do we make this work? So, you want to explain what you guys are doing, dancing on the water?
Okay, so this one here, we were performing at an event for buskers. It was called Buskers by the Lake, and so this floating stage was a skate ramp, and there were a bunch of people doing like skateboard demos in the middle of the ramp. And Lovekey, we'd just finished our busking set, and Lovekey was like, I want to go on there, I'm gonna ask. And we were like, you're gonna ask them? And Lovekey at the time had blue hair, and she was like, you can do anything. If you're just a little guy with blue hair, you can achieve anything. And so she walked up to them and said, excuse me, my dance group would really like to go on your stage, on your skate ramp, is that okay? And they said, yeah, absolutely, we'll bring you out there, but you have to perform for us. So we were like, really? And they were like, yeah, absolutely. So they drove us out there on that little boat that you can see. We have a flag. We gave them our flag, and they were doing donuts around the stage, holding up our flag while we were performing on the skate ramp. And it was really interesting because it was a skate ramp. So we were like dancing up the walls of the skate ramp. Yeah, it was really cool. And then we bought some of their t-shirts afterwards to say thank you. It's a company called Chiggy's Skateboarding. They were really cool. So we did that. So that like easily has to be one of my favorite A-MUSE
Oh, I'm seeing the flag
even
now.
Though it was so yeah.
The
It was so
flag.
impromptu. Yeah. The A-MUSE project flag. The guy just standing at the front like, yeah!
I don't know.
Yeah,
For me, I'm like, this is such like Aussie energy.
Yeah, seriously. For real. Yeah.
The boat even has like sassy text on it. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sassy.
Right. Yeah, sassy written on the boat right there, like at the front.
Yeah.
Look at that, sassy.
Sassy.
All right. One more. So apart from this, you guys got to do. I was like, wait, is like the TED Talk TED? So explain what was going on here.
So last year we were doing a performance of our Opalescent World EP release live, and we did a version of it in Sydney. And while we were in Sydney, before we went, we were contacted by TEDx, and they were like, hey, we're doing a little gig on sort of Asian pop and live music, and we were wondering if you wanted to be a part of it. It's in Sydney on this day. And we were like, it was on a Thursday, and we were like, well, funnily enough, we have a show in Sydney on a Saturday, so yeah, we can do that. So we performed at TEDx, which is really random, but it was such a cool experience, and we got to meet some other artists, which was fun. There was a rap group that I really loved. I think they were called 1-800 or 1-300. That's really bad that I can't remember. I follow them on Instagram. I'm gonna find out right now for you because they were really good. Sorry, just bear with me. I think it's 1-800.
But yeah, basically you guys did like a whole performance.
1-300 info, yeah.
1-300 info.
yeah. They were really good.
Performance. And like, so this crowd were they expecting to see J-pop? Because it was like you said, it was an expo about what was it, Asian music or whatever.
Yeah, so everyone there was expecting it. So it was kind of like, there were people doing K-pop, there were people doing, I think we were the only idol group. But there was all sorts of, 1-300 or a rap group, like all sorts of different music. And yeah, it was a really fun opportunity to be able to do that. Another one of my favorite memories was the photo on the left is the photo of us performing at the Triffid for the Cube Effect competition that I was talking about earlier. And everyone brought their pen lights and pushed. So we were there all day because we wanted to support all of the other acts. And I think there were 26 other performances.
Wow.
And everyone did a 10-minute set. So it did go all day. And we were second last.
Okay.
And for everyone's performances, like everyone was giving the performances their full attention, but people were sort of more towards the back of the room. And then when it was about time for us to go on, all of our voters like made their way to the front of the stage and they had glow sticks, and I think that kind of got the attention of everyone else. So everyone was like, oh, hang on, and so everyone pushed their way to the front of the stage. And the energy was just so incredible, and looking out into the crowd and seeing the faces of people who I've seen come to our shows, or people who were very clearly into idols, and then in amongst that seeing people who had never seen anything like this before going, oh my gosh. And then I realized that it was so touching, but members of the idol community and fans of idols were giving out their spare pen lights to the people who hadn't seen it before.
Who were just like there.
There were people, yeah.
And they're like, let's get into it with the pen light.
Yeah, and seeing, like, it was one of the most validating experiences for me as a performer, just being like, hey, this isn't just some kind of like silly thing that only niche people will enjoy. This is something that can be enjoyed by everyone. something else that's really funny is like if you look to the sort of right edge of the screen, you'll see this person with their hands up. That was an interpreter. They had someone doing ASL sign language
Is it this
interpreting
this
on the
person
side
right
of the
here?
stage. Hang on, I'm waiting for the little pointer to appear. Yeah, that person. Yeah, so that was really cool. And yeah, it was just such a special experience. And when we got off the stage, we were absolutely bombarded by other members of the program going, I've never seen anything like that in my life. That was like so cool. Like, where can I follow you? When's your next show? I have to come. Like, this one girl said, my life has been changed after seeing that performance. Like,
That's so
cool. Yeah,
cool.
Someone said that just cured my depression. I was like,
as it should.
Yeah, so that was like, I was just on cloud 9 after that performance because it was so scary not knowing how we were going to be received. Like, it was a room full of people who were singing mostly indie rock, and I was looking at the other performances throughout the day going, wow, these people are really talented musicians. Like we made some really good friends. Oh yeah.
Wait 1 sec. It's so weird. You're still here with me. You're still here with me. Whoa. Okay,
Yeah.
wait. Let me reconnect my internet for 1 sec. Okay, I think we are returning now. Hi, Kate. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. My sister burst into the room. She was like, I'm watching the stream. It's down. And I'm like, oh no. Okay, wait 1 sec. Don't worry. The power of idols. The power of idols brought us back.
Yay.
But yeah, the question I had was like, do people outside of idol culture or knowing what you guys do, when you tell them what you do, or when they like are unexpectedly exposed to what you do, how do people take it? Are they generally supportive, or do they like kind of dismiss it?
So I think people are actually genuinely pretty accepting. I used to be really shy, like when I first started my new job, and this is like 3 years ago, it's not new anymore, but I would go away and like over the weekend do an idol show, or sometimes even like travel interstate and do a show. And then I would come back to work on Monday and people would be like, oh, did you have a good weekend? What did you do? And I would be there like bones aching from dancing for an hour straight, like exhausted, and I'd be like, oh, nothing much, just a relaxing quiet one. Hey, just a quiet one. Like I refused to talk about it because I was worried about about how people would respond. But I've kind of, this is a recent development, but I've kind of learned that like, if someone tells you what they're passionate about, right, and your first response is to be like, oh, well, that's weird, like, that's a reflection of them. Like, if that's the person they're gonna be, like, okay, you do you, boo. Like, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and that's fine. Generally, I find that if I explain, and you do have to explain, because if you say, oh, I'm a J-pop idol, people go, what? Sorry? So you do kind of have to explain the background of it. But people are generally quite nice and quite understanding about it, which is good. When we did the Cube Effect competition this year, my work found out about it, and when we got People's Choice, they posted about it in like the full office group thing, and I was like, oh my god. And everyone was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Someone went and found the album on YouTube and shared the link to it, and I was like, oh, if the cat wasn't out of the bag earlier, it well and truly is now. But everyone like came up to me and said, hey, I listened to your stuff, like, it's like what you guys do is really cool. And that was kind of my first, outside of the Cube Effect thing with other musicians acknowledging us, that was my first experience where I was just like openly like, this is, that one image of Shrek where he's like, That's how I felt. I was like, yeah. And from there, because everyone in the office was pretty open to it, I now am less afraid to just be like, yeah, this is who I am and this is what I do. And if people are like, ew, I'm like, okay, bye. That's a you problem, bestie.
For sure. I mean, I feel like when I meet people and like I gotta like be like, oh, you know, I like Danganronpa, but like I feel like Danganronpa is like, okay, what stage of a comfortable level am I to you right now? Because if I talk about Danganronpa, you're gonna have to like, you're gonna be asking me about Danganronpa, and I'm like, do I need to show off my full cringe? do you need to know my whole lore or everything?
Yeah, definitely.
But
how deep do we delve into things?
So it's like, I guess like when I introduce myself to like a new person, right? I'll be like, oh, you know, I like Vocaloid, Miku. And it's like, okay, if they know about Vocaloid, then they've got like the similar establishment of like Japanese weeaboo phase or whatever in them. And I'm like, I could be like, okay, maybe you can know about Danganronpa.
Yeah, well,
I like it a normal amount.
Yeah, a normal amount. People find out that I do streaming, and they'll be like, "Oh, what kind of games do you stream?" Because, you know, lots of people like gaming. And when it's like, "Oh, my favorite series, Danganronpa," they're like, "What's your favorite game?" It's like, if I say Danganronpa, they're gonna be like, "Huh? What?" So a lot of the time, I'll usually just say, "Oh, I like games." I kind of describe similar games, and sometimes I'll say my favorite game is Danganronpa. I feel like such a loser, but I'm like, oh, you probably haven't heard of it. It's called Danganronpa. But the reality is they probably haven't heard of it. So, you know, it's like, yeah. And then I find that sometimes when I explain it, they're like, oh, that's really interesting. But it always is kind of like, yeah, you know, murder mystery, like JRPG, like, I mean, similar games to that.
It's so funny, but it's like the tiny % chance that this person also knows about Danganronpa is like instant connection.
Yeah,
You're like,
I had one guy at work who was a gamer. Yeah, he knew about it, and I was like, okay. He was into like Final Fantasy and like other games, and he was like, and what about you? And I was like, I don't know if you know about Danganronpa, and he was like, oh yeah, I've heard of that one. And then he was like, what are you playing currently? And I was like, I'm playing Zero Escape. And he was like, oh yeah, I know Zero Escape. And I was like, oh wow, okay, like you're you know, you're just like me, for real.
Just like you're just like me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool. Okay, let's keep going because I really want to show off this next bit. I think we'll play the audio for it a little bit right now. Hopefully copyright doesn't come and get me. But explain what sopalation is for everybody.
So, this was in the lead up to our 5th anniversary show. We needed to hold a fundraiser, and as part of that, we got the idea. I don't know if you've seen the famous.
I have definitely seen.
Yes, so there's a video of 3 Love Live cosplayers performing Start Dash on a tarp covered in lube, and they just fall over. And we were like, what if we do a stream where we dance, like people donate to see us dance different songs from our repertoire on a carp covered in soap and things like that. So that's what we did. This was our first lube stream. We've done 2. We did one at the end of last year, sorry, to help us fund some new microphones, which have now we haven't been able to purchase them yet because they are out of stock because of shortages, but yeah, the second we can, we'll buy them. Yeah. So yeah, this is just a fun little fundraiser that we sometimes do. People donate to watch us fall over and and struggle.
I am very glad to see that you guys are well protected, though.
Yeah, no, we always like wrap ourselves in bubble wrap and use elbow pads and helmets and stuff like that.
It's so funny to watch, and it's just like iconic that it is also the clip we're showing is sopalation.
Yeah, sopalation.
Sopalation.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so funny.
Yeah.
All right.
The last
I mean, like
we had to perform Tokyo.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
keep going.
I was
Tokyo.
interrupting you.
No, go.
Oh yeah. Oh, we had to perform this song, Tokyo Rat City, like 9 times in a row. It's a song by Cyber. And we had to perform it like 9 times. By the end of the day, we were like, I never want to hear Tokyo Rat City ever again in my entire life.
I don't know. It's really funny, and I'm glad that nobody had serious injuries out of it.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, so like with fundraising, clearly, you know, sometimes you guys need a bit of funding. So I'm wondering, how can people who are interested support your activities?
Oh, well, we do have a Patreon that has different tiers. You can join for as little as $2 a month, which will give you access to our Discord server, and then there's different tiers. One of the tiers will write you a letter every month. This is a really solid way to support us on the regular. Honestly, other ways that you can support us though is just by listening to our music and by spreading the word and telling people to listen to our music. Also, it's a big help to, watch our live streams, or if you're in a city that we're doing a live, to attend the live. That's always really helpful. But the biggest thing is just by spreading the word. And yeah, if you do want to support the Patreon, is a fantastic way to do that.
And like, so on screen right now, I had the Patreon page, but also you guys have an Instagram, you have a Twitter. Obviously, AMUSE also had a Twitch channel that was shown off a little bit earlier as well. But you guys also have like to stream your music. You guys have it on Spotify and a whole bunch of other places.
Apple Music, YouTube. We did a performance at the Eka this year, which is like, I don't know if you guys have a show other places in Australia. We have the Royal Queensland Show or Exhibition, which is shortened to Eka. And we performed like a 20-minute set at the Eka in front of like the farmers and the and the people who are making quilts.
And they're like, oh, wow, nice.
It was actually really funny because they'd scheduled us between Coco Melon and Paw Patrol or something like that. So there were so many children there at our performance. And the kids were like, whoa! It was really cute.
That is adorable. Wait, between Coco Melon and Paw Patrol, like, all right, bring out AMUSE! Yay!
So there's Coco Melon. Yeah, every time I see Coco Melon, I think of Yuma from Raincoat. It looks like Coco Melon, like the little Coco Melon logo. Yeah.
Oh, next time you'll have fun. Bluey as well.
Yeah. Yes, I love Bluey. Bring out Bluey. Bluey should join AMUSE.
Bluey and AMUSE.
Yeah, Bluey can take my member as my position as the blue member.
Oh my god. So true. It's like, hi, I'm Bluey, the blue member of AMUSE. Adorable. Alright. Okay. So, quick shout out to a couple of people who are not like part of AMUSE, but are also pretty much part of AMUSE. But thank you to all these people who we have linked here.
Yes,
so you want to just like quickly like say
of course.
who?
So we've worked with a number of people over the years, but and we're so grateful to everyone's support. But wanted to give a special shout out to Sora, who produced our very first single, A-side and B-side. Flay, who produced Opalescent and Revolt Revive, Controller. who produced Love Language and also Wave, which incidentally are the two crowd favorites. Miss Noma, who produced one of my favorite songs, Paper Planes. Paper Planes is a really nostalgic kind of song about, you know, working hard and, you know, doing your best, and, you know, it's I love that song, so thank you, Miss Noma. Death Arising is our main videographer, and Empty Knot did a lot of the photography for all of the visuals for Opalescent, and a lot of the videography for that as well. So big shout out to those people.
Very, very cool. Alright, now I feel like we've talked enough about idols, so it's time to talk about Danganronpa.
Yes! Let's go!
Let's go. Alright, so I was wondering, when did you discover Danganronpa?
I was in my first year of uni, and the anime was airing.
Right.
A couple of my friends were watching the anime, and so the anime is actually what hooked me. And then I was like, wait, there's a game? What? And so I bought a secondhand PSP, and I somehow got like a cracked version of the game on my PSP so that I could play that. And then I did a let's play of SDR2, and then the second that came out, I bought a PS Vita so that I could play SDR2. And then I did a let's play of Ultra Despair Girls. Like, I couldn't wait for the games to come out. I had to do let's plays. I just like needed to experience them. Except I don't think there was a let's play for V3, or I at least saw one that like went right up to the big reveal in the trial of chapter 1, and then it ended, and I was like, what? And then I eventually, like, that was the first game that I played for the first time by myself on my little PS Vita.
I also played V3 on my PS Vita. It was so difficult. I learned that I was not good at the rhythm game aspect.
Oh my god. Well, the rhythm game is like, I love rhythm games. This rhythm game is weird. I don't know. It's different to others. It's like, it's quite tricky. But something that was really nice about playing V3 is that it came out, it was translated like right before I went on a trip to Japan with a bunch of friends. I think there were like 10 of us in total going at the same time. And we all, like, it started off with just me and Jake and my friend who was a member of A-MUSE, Pwenties. We were all crowding around our the PS Vita. And then more people got involved. So basically what the trip ended up being is we would go out in our separate directions and enjoy visiting Japan for the day. And then at night we'd come back to our Airbnb, and like a flock of us would just crowd around me playing my Vita, and we would like play the game that way. And we finished the game while we were over there, and everyone would like come up with different theories like while we were out and about, and then we would go home and just play the game. It was so fun. Yeah.
Because I think I remember when I was playing V3, I streamed a little bit of it, but like I didn't have a way to stream it because I was playing on my Vita, and I was like, how do you capture what's on a Vita? And this was before it came to PC and everything. So like I remember at the time I had this like really bad setup where I just like streamed it on Twitter via my phone camera. And I think I played part of the first chapter and then part of the last chapter that way, and it was really funny. But it was also really funny when my phone fell over and I was like, whoops!
No!
And I was like, oopsie, okay, let me put it back to the screen. And I had like, I propped my phone up on like a tape, like little holder or whatever. I don't know. It was very like janky, but I thought it was fun. Alright, so we gotta ask who your favorite characters of Danganronpa are. And clearly, I feel like it's no surprise if people saw Mari and Ellie, but
I have a type. Very,
who
very
could it
clearly.
Be? Wow, who?
Yeah. My ultimate favorite girls are Kaide and Sonia. I love them so much. I was instantly drawn to both of them. I also used to play the piano. You can see my piano in the background.
Yeah.
But as a girly who loves music and piano, and also like before I was K8bit, my name was Princess Kate. People used to always say that I was like a princess. And so I don't know, I've always been just drawn to like princess-like characters. So like the princess and the musician, they're just me. Like it's you know, I love them. I love them so much.
Is this a bit narcissistic?
Maybe. No.
Maybe. What's wrong with that?
I just And what of it? No, I just love them. I just think they're neat. I did buy the Kaide figures. I have the bunny, and the other one is we'll show them off. I have a bit of a Danganronpa collection. There they are. I noticed when I sent this through that Chihiro had fallen over, so apologies, Chihiro. I still need to arrange this in a better way. I really want to get some of the acrylic risers so that I can display the figures better. And there's still more figures that I want, but I really want to complete the set of the red circle, like the right. I really want to finish that set. But it's so expensive, so I still need some of the characters, and my dream is to one day own all of them and complete the circle. But like
I have 2 of them. I've got the Mukuro and also the show from that set, but that's the only 2 I have. Because like they were sold as a full set, but people have like split them up a ton. By now.
I want them. I'm missing them, and I want to make like a little trial room set up to put them in, like make a little like diorama or something and put them in there. I think that would be so cute.
Yeah.
The perfume smells awful. The perfume does not smell good.
So you're actually the person that helped me get my Komaeda perfume as well, and we were both like, oh yeah, we're so excited. And then like I smelled mine and I was like, smells like a clean bathroom. And I was like, don't know if I like that or not. I'm not gonna use it.
Yeah.
And
it does give like various scented bathroom cleaner.
Yeah, which is like disappointing. Like, wouldn't you want your perfume to smell nice? But we have it because we are unable to control ourselves.
Yes, we have problems. I bought Sonia's because like I had to, and like I'm a perfume girly. I love perfume, so I was like looking up all the scent notes, and I like fruit kind of scents, and Chiaki had peach and apple scents, and I was like, oh, that smells like something that I would wear. So I love Chiaki, but she's not one of my favorites. So I was like, she's probably one of my favorites in SDR too, actually. But I was like, I'll get Chiaki because maybe that's one that I'll actually wear. But Sonia's scent notes weren't like what I usually go for. So I was like, I'm buying Sonia because I'm insufferable, actually. And Chiaki will be the one that I'll wear. And I will not wear either of them. They are for looking at.
Okay, so I wanted to mention quickly. So you are actually also wearing a Danganronpa dress.
Oh yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Danganronpa, like Trigger Happy Havoc, had a collaboration with a brand whose name I cannot remember what it was, but it was very fancy.
It was like I'm gonna find it. It was like I want to say Australia, but that sounds like.
Yeah, it was very fancy, like premium looking dresses and t-shirts and belts and accessories and stuff like that. And Kate is currently wearing the one that is based on Toko Fukawa, and it is very cute.
Yes.
I have a dress from the same collection. That's the Junko dress, and it is very, very nice, but I have no opportunity to wear it. But Kate, do you want to like show off the embroidery on your?
Yes, I will.
I have no idea what that stuff is called, but on the frill, on the collar.
I think it is Australia, but don't quote me on that. And I've got some scissors because of her double personality, and I've got the little Danganronpa bullet
target
whatever
thing.
That's called, I forget. Thank you. Yeah. And then there's some cute little bows, and I won't stand up and show you the bottom of the dress, but there's also like the scissors embroidered on the bottom of the dress as well. And I think they're very cute. And I was saying to Key earlier, but when I wear this in public, people are always like, "Oh, do you like sewing?" Because they think that like these are bobbins or whatever. So, you know, and it's like scissors and bows. So I kind of just go, "Oh yeah, I do like sewing actually. This is my sewing dress and definitely not my Danganronpa dress."
Yes, it's very subtle. It's nice. Okay, speaking of maybe not so subtle things. So, you and I adore cosplaying Danganronpa, and a couple of these costumes I think you made by yourself.
Yeah.
Which ones were bought? I think the Sonya one might be a bought costume.
No, I made that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that just goes to show how good you are.
Sonya. Thank you. I bought my Komaru. I bought Sayaka in the top right. My Femme Leon in the bottom left was made up of, like, I didn't make any of the pieces. It was like a normal Leon costume that a friend of mine had, and like I made my Junko, so the skirt was made from scratch and the top was made of like op shop shirts that I altered. I made the Idol Sayaka, although I have since thrown that costume away and remade it because I didn't like the way that one turned out, so I've made it different now.
Which I can show it off in a bit, because I do have a picture of it. Let's move on to the next slide, because there are some more.
Yeah, I have cosplayed Miyu before. Oh, there she is. There's Miyu.
Yeah.
We did Komaida Apocalypse, which was I can't even remember where we came up with that idea, but yeah.
Don't worry, we'll show it off. We'll show it off.
We all bought like the cheapest, worst quality Komaida costumes we could, and we did a Komaida Apocalypse. I've cosplayed Maki. That one was bought. Honestly, I do buy a lot of my Danganronpa cosplays because I find the quality of them is quite high when they've like even just bought. I have a Tsumugi cosplay that I've never actually worn. I need to actually wear that one day. And I've also cosplayed a friend of mine. So when I was streaming the Danganronpa games, I used to, every time there was a class trial, I would do a cosplay and I would get the audience to vote, and everyone voted on Korakio, so I did also cosplay Korakio at one point because a friend of mine had the costume. But yeah, I love this series very dearly, and I love the character designs, and I have a problem.
I mean, the two photos at the bottom, that's actually me and you from SmashCon this year. Clearly, I feel like it was like after this point that I was like, actually, do you want to be uncheesed? I've been meaning to ask you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so happy. I was like, really? Yeah. It was super exciting. But yeah, I made, so that was, I always, every time I'm at a con, I like sprint to Key's table. I'm like, Key, you know, we, you know, I buy Key's art and we get selfies and we chat. And this particular con, I was not cosplaying Danganronpa, but I did cosplay Miss Clover Zero Escape, which was absolutely thrown together in the last minute.
Really? I wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. The wig is like spliced together from like the wigs that would arrive in the right time frame. Like it's not the right color or like the way I would have wanted to do that wig, but it was just like what would arrive in time. And then Vivi on the left there is from One Piece, and that is one that I made entirely from scratch.
And I think you did have a photo shoot for it recently, right?
Yeah, I did do a photo shoot for it recently. We did a little One Piece Alabaster shoot with a few of us. It was really fun.
All right. Well, I have to show off the Komaida Apocalypse. Let me just check that this doesn't. Okay, good. It's muted right now. So this was 2019, and I was so sad when I found out this was happening because it was not at a con that I was at, and I was like, I would have loved to have participated in this Komaida apocalypse, and I am so sad that I was not there. But I thought it was hilarious, and I was like, oh man, I'm so sad I missed out. But it's so good, and I love that there was a video put together about it. It's just like everyone did such a good job. And
like
it's
the T-posing
iconic.
always sends
That's
me
you.
like,
That's you over
what
there.
are you doing? Yeah. My friend Vex is the one person who has like an actually good Komaida cosplay. Like they bought theirs ages in advance. Like they did it for. I've organized 3 full group Danganronpa shoots. So for the first game, second game, and third game, and Vex was our Komaida. So their Komaida is actually like, yeah, solid. But yeah, it's yeah,
it's so good. I remember like asking you about it at the time because I was like, how the heck did you organize this? And it was like, oh, we ordered like 20 like Komaida cosplays from the same seller, and they were like, are you sure?
And we were like, yes, we're sure. I actually cannot believe that we had enough people who were interested. Like, I think this is back when Supernova used to do Fridays. So it was just kind of like, yeah, we'll just why not? We'll have a bit of a laugh on the Friday of the con. Yeah, look,
clearly this is why we're friends.
Yes. I don't know where this came from. I don't know what hatched in our brains, but like, yeah.
It's just
We've
so
also
funny.
talked about doing like Sans Undertale apocalypse. That would be funny as well. Just like a million Sans Undertales.
Okay, well let me be the one Komaida that like joins you guys.
Yeah, you can be the one Komaida in the Sans Undertale.
And then we gotta dance to the like fingers in his ass.
Yeah.
Sans Maida apocalypse.
Yeah. Actually, speaking about the fingers in his ass video, when I was playing through SDR2 on stream as like a ritual, every time we were ending stream, I would play that video in its entirety. We would dance to fingers. It was like, all right, stream's done for the day. Kanye Westy likes fingers in his ass.
Oh, it's so funny and so good. I'm like so like I'm honored that I know you guys.
Yes. Well, I feel honored that the Komaida enjoyer has paid attention to our Komaida video.
I just remember when this like the photos or whatever like came out, I was like, what the heck happened? Because like I remember everyone who was at the con, they were like tweeted like, I just see like 10 Komaidas at this con. What's going on? And I was like, oh my god, I wish I was there.
Yeah, I saw we were at a Melbourne con once, and I was walking around with A-MUSE, and we kept seeing these 3 Komaida cosplayers walking around together, and they were chanting things like "Rat Brothers, Rat Brothers, Rat Brothers." And at one point, we walked past them and heard them say, "We are the Rat Brothers, and we have powers." And I quote that to this day. The 3 little Komaida Rat Brothers, honestly, heroes. Rat Brothers.
I'm so sad that I was not one of them, but actually this is totally my brand. Rat Brothers, brand. Let's go.
Yeah. This is a big mob of 20 Rat Brothers.
Well, not just Komaida, but you have we gotta end it. Sorry. But this is your remade version of Miss Idol.
Yeah.
Miss Idol Sayaka.
Yeah.
And what was the cosplay live?
So we all, started off as cosplayers, and we kind of thought, wouldn't it be fun to do a live where we dress up as characters? And Lucky is Waluigi because of course she is.
It's so good.
Since doing A-MUSE, I've had a lot less time to create cosplay from scratch. And I really, really wanted to remake my original Sayaka, and I thought that this would be such a fun opportunity. Like, get to be an idol while cosplaying a Danganronpa idol. I was like, I'm not gonna waste up on that opportunity. So I thought would remake that, and I think it took me a couple of weeks to remake everything, but I much prefer this version to my original version.
It's so good. You're so cute. look at you go.
you.
Look at you all
Thank
go.
you so much. Yeah, we I like that most of us are cosplaying idols or idol adjacent things, and then Lumpy's just there like Waluigi.
It's great to look at. I very much recommend everyone go check out the A-MUSE YouTube channel, and like you might find treasures like this. No, you will find treasures like this. It's just so good.
This is a really fun live because we also encouraged the audience to dress up as well. And so everyone was in cosplay in the audience, and we held a bit of a cosplay competition, and someone came dressed up as Sans, and I gave them the prize for the funniest costume because I couldn't stop laughing.
That's so good. No, next time you do this, I'll come as Kamino.
Yes, please. Next time
I'll be like, yeah!
we need to get a Kamite Apocalypse to come to the next cosplay live.
Yeah, I'll be there. All right. So the next thing, so obviously cosplay. You have also entered cosplay competitions. So I want to talk about this a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my very dear friend Cameron, who is cosplaying Usopp there with me as Perona. I've been cosplaying for many moons, and it was always kind of a just for fun thing, and we're kind of on a whim. We'd love to enter WCS next year. Actually, we're hoping to enter WCS next year, so we'll see how that goes. But this was kind of in preparation for that. The deadline, we were at a con, me and Cameron, and we were like, okay, the deadline for entering portfolios for Madman cosplay competition is in a week's time. Let's just do it. Let's just enter just to give ourselves some experience. We weren't expecting anything from it. So in a week's time, we did as much as we could, or 2 weeks' time, we did as much as we could on throwing together these costumes. And we submitted our portfolio, and then ended up submitting, getting these costumes done. And for anyone that doesn't know, the Madman National Cosplay Competition, which sadly does not exist anymore, it took place in a lot of major states and over in New Zealand as well, around Australia and New Zealand. And every competition, the winner would represent their state. And then there was a final round held in Melbourne. And we entered seriously just to give ourselves some experience. And when we got there, we were like, we're not gonna win. Like, this is like, we saw the other costumes, we were like, everyone looks so beautiful. Oh, you also have to do a cosplay skit as part of it. So you had to make costumes and then perform like a short skit with your characters. And we were like, this is something that we've done just to give ourselves experience. But then we actually ended up winning the Brisbane round. So we were the Queensland representatives, which was like, honestly, one of my happiest memories. I was like, I can't believe, like, seriously, this thing that we did on a whim. And we did work really hard on it, but like, wow, okay. So from there, we ended up representing Brisbane in the Melbourne finals, and we're both big fans of the Mario series, so we cosplayed Mario and Princess Peach for the final round.
Yeah, and it's such cute photos.
Yeah, so for our skit in the final round, we ended up doing a costume change. So like, the story of our skit, we kind of like mushed all Mario games together and like paid references to all different Mario games. Like, we had Paper Mario references in there, Mario Odyssey references in there, all sorts of Mario references. And the story of the skit was that Bowser stole Princess Peach and wanted to marry her, and Mario had to like come and, we did like the classic, we played classic Mario music, and Cameron was like walking on the spot, and we had like the blocks floating above his head, so it was like he was walking to go and save Peach. But we did a costume change in it. So I started in the pink dress, and then at the end, when Mario got to the castle to save Peach, I came out and I was wearing the white dress at the end. So we did a cheeky little costume change, and much to our surprise, because it was a really tough year for competition, we actually placed 3rd in the national level of the competition, which is
Wow.
crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I cried. I sobbed buckets. I was like, hello, what? But honestly, forcing myself into a competition like this really leveled up my sewing skills, because I had to really focus on like making sure everything was fitting correctly, and I had to learn a bunch of new skills. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially, did you help with making the Mario crown? Like that's super impressive.
I didn't do the Mario crown. Oh, I did cast the gems for it. So all of the little blue gems and like some of the pink gems that you see, I casted those out of resin. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's amazing. And it's like, 3rd! You guys get 3rd! That's so cool!
Yeah, I don't know how we managed that. Like, it's seriously such a fever dream. Yeah. I'm very proud of these costumes. I've still got them sitting in a box somewhere.
It's nice. Oh man. Okay. So
yeah.
To continue from this, like, cause you also sometimes, when we mentioned it, you also sometimes cosplay for your streams, and you stream on Twitch.
Yes.
So this is the shout out to your Twitch, which you also upload your VODs on your your own YouTube channel. But they do come out a bit slower.
I've been a bit slack on that lately, but yeah, I do upload my VODs to YouTube. And sometimes I cosplay while I'm on stream. I stream currently 3 times a week. And I find it a lot of fun. I love streaming.
Yeah. Okay, you guys have to go support Kate on her Twitch like right now. I think I do have the link to it in the description of this stream/VOD. So make sure to check Kate out. And you just finished playing Raincoat, yeah? So
oh my god, like, yeah, I literally finished it the other day. Oh,
I was wondering, so like what types of games do you normally play so that people know what you're into?
I play so many different types of games, like so many different types of games, but I do play a lot of games like Raincoat, Ace Attorney. I've played a lot of Ace Attorney lately, 9990 Escape games. I recently played Your Turn to Die, so a lot of games in that genre. But really, I play like I've also played a lot of Zelda. I've been playing a bunch of Tears of the Kingdom lately. I've played a lot of retro games before. I enjoy playing games like Hades. So really, I play many different types of games. But do focus on this kind of genre.
And there's one example of a thumbnail that I put up there, but you also like sometimes sing on stream. Sometimes just doing a karaoke session.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so every month I do a karaoke stream, and it's a lot of fun. I'm actually due to do a karaoke stream tomorrow night, and basically I have a list of songs that people who watch can request, and I will sing them. I don't know if I'll be able to sing tomorrow because I've not been well, but we'll see how we go. I might push myself too because I love singing. I want to sing. So we'll see. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Monthly karaoke is always a good time.
Of singing, hey, so like every time there's been like a musical person on one of these cheese streams, I'm like, would you mind like singing a line for me? Everyone's been like, no.
No! Haven't warmed up.
So would you like sing maybe one line of a song? Any song?
Tell me a song. Tell me a song.
Well, what about Love Language, since that's your center song?
I haven't warmed up, I'm shy. Okay. Alrighty, this is Love Language. This is my love letter to Khee. It goes, any way you show it to me, you'll always be understood. All your love says more than you ever could.
Yeah!
Yay!
Thank you! Ah, finally, episode 8. Finally.
Has everyone else refused?
Well, everyone else has been like, I don't
I'm
want to
shy.
sing. Yeah.
Oh
It's like-
look, it's not gonna be like my best singing, and I haven't warmed up, and I'm a little bit sick. But why not? You know, I'm an idol. It's what I do. I'm supposed to
Yes.
sing.
Thank you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you so much, my queen.
Anything for you. It's my love language to Key.
Ah. Okay. Well, I was wondering, why did you decide to start streaming? Is it because inherently like A-MUSE just did a lot of like video content, and so that's why you wanted to make some yourself, or like you just wanted to play games on stream?
So we actually have COVID-19 to thank for that. Because we all considering we couldn't do our live shows through COVID, we started doing streams on the A-MUSE channel, where every week, twice a week, a member would stream something. And it could be anything. Like Pengi does tarot cards, so she did tarot readings for her stream. Lovekey did a stream that was like showing cursed items that I have in my house. Like people just did different streams about like, you know, like we could literally do whatever. And I ended up streaming some games, and I was like, hang on, this is actually really fun. Like, what? Oh, okay. And then from there I decided, you know what, like we're in the middle of lockdown. I'm going to start doing a stream once a week, one time a week. And then that turned into twice a week. And then I loved it so much that I was like, actually, I want to do this like alongside being an idol. Like, if I could make this my full-time job, I would. And so I ended up I went into my work and I was like, can I please drop down from full-time to part-time hours, because I want to focus on being a singer and a streamer. And they were like, what? Okay. So we negotiated that, and then I started streaming 4 times a week. I've now dropped it down to 3 times a week, just for my own sanity. But yeah, something that it was like a very happy little accident. Not like, you know, it was just, I stumbled across it and I was like, I always knew that streaming was a thing that people did, but I never envisioned myself doing it. And when I started, I was like, this is really fun, and I'm playing like I've always loved gaming, but I have now been forced to make time to play games. And I'm like playing all sorts of new games, and it's just, it's so much fun. So that's my origin story, is I started it because of COVID and I never stopped.
And now it is part of your big life.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, so we are going to start wrapping up soon, but I would like to ask, do you have any goals or dream projects, whether it's A-MUSE, cosplay, streaming, or dancing, singing related, for the near or future?
All right, let's do one idol goal, let's do one streaming goal, and let's do one play goal. So for my cosplay goal, I would really like to represent Australia at WCS. That would be really cool. Do people know WCS? For anyone that doesn't know, that's the World Cosplay Summit, where a team represents each country around the world in Japan. So that's my cosplay dream. For streaming, I would really love to make streaming more like I would like to stream more and make it more like a job. I would like to be able to quit my big girl job and focus more on streaming and idol. But I guess for a specific goal, I still have a long way to go before I get there, but I would love to like make Twitch partner and be able to be a guest at some sort of streaming convention or something like that. I think that would be really cool. And then for an idol goal, I really just want to keep making more music, and I guess if I'm gonna like name a specific goal, I would love to perform with A-MUSE in Japan.
Ooh, I would like to see that too. Oh wait,
and also make a Christmas song.
Yes, the Christmas song. Wait, one second. I just noticed, or I just paid attention to it now when you were like speaking with your hands. Can you show me your nails? They look so cool. They look so nice.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're a little bit
pretty.
grown out at the moment, but I love
Mm-mm-mm.
getting fun designs on my nails.
Mm-mm-mm.
I have a lady in Brisbane who I've become friends with who does my nails for me, and she does such a fantastic job.
So pretty.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you.
Well, let me show off. Oh wait, no. We will be taking some of the audience questions now. It is now time for that.
Ooh!
So, these were it's just a couple because we have gone a long time anyway. But here are some of the audience questions that came in through the community post. So thank you so much to those people who did submit a question. The first one is
Thank you,
from
everyone.
Untitled 6257. What is it like being an idol, and is it everything you'd hope it would be? And what are your plans after being an idol? I guess maybe
Ooh,
after
plans
the
after
idols
being an idol. Wow.
idol thing comes to an end, which is sad to think about, but
So,
like it,
yeah, I
you know.
mean, everything comes to an end, right? Let's
Mm-mm-mm.
just hope that it doesn't. I'm planning on being an idol for many, many, many more years.
Mm-mm-mm.
Plans after being an idol is like it's not something that I think about often because I guess this kind of answered, is it everything you hoped it would be? I didn't dream of being an idol, right? Like it just kind of happened to me, which is a really weird way of putting it. And I think because of that, like there's nothing like I'm just always living kind of in the moment, and it's like I'm focusing on what I have going on in front of me. I think when AMUSE eventually, comes to an end, because I'm gonna be here until AMUSE comes to an end. Like they cannot get rid of me. Maybe I'll become a full-time Twitch streamer. Maybe I'll audition for some musicals. I would love to be a lead role in a musical someday. I've always loved musical theater, so I might lean into that. Maybe I'll start releasing some music on my own. The possibilities are endless. I think it just depends on what stage in my life I'm at, but I will always do something creative. I will always do something with music. I love singing so much, so I'll always do something in that realm. I just don't know what it is. As for what it's like being an idol, we've kind of covered this already, but like it's a lot of hard work, but it's incredibly rewarding, and you learn so much about yourself. And it's really cool, like pushing yourself and finding sides of you that you didn't know existed.
That's such a eloquent answer. It's so nice. Thank you for your question. The next one is from Dale McNothing, which kind of covers something we've already said. What is the main inspiration for idea of an idol group? How did it happen? So maybe instead of that, why is AMUSE like starry and planet themed?
Yeah. That kind of happened by accident as well. Our original logo, we included some stars and things like that in there, and then I guess with the creation of our first single, we were leaning into the motifs of like the rock to the stars and following your dreams, and like who knows what planet we're going to come to next. It kind of was just like a natural progression. Plus space is so cool. There's so much you can do with space, and like at the moment we're kind of leaning into like, each release is kind of like, ooh, what planet are we going to visit next? Like a lot of the opalescent imagery is like a little heart-shaped planet, so like, it's ooh, what planet will we visit? But there are some really cool different themed idol groups out there. Like some groups don't have a theme, some groups do. We just kind of happened to fall into the space idol category.
Yeah, it's cute. Well, maybe you should have a song about aliens.
Well, there's
Someday.
actually a bit in Hoshie no Rocket when we don't do it because Alex is on exchange and it's to do with her part. But there's a line where she's singing about like, how can a planet so new feel so free? And she comes to the front of the stage and sings her line, and I'm at the front of the stage pretending to be a little alien. And when she comes back, I'll get to be my alien self again. That's
so cute. You are the alien idol. The A in AV stands for alien.
Alien muse. I'm the imposter.
Oh
So
no.
fuck with me.
Thank you so much for your question. Next is
Thank
by
you.
DinoPsych 8950. How much prep work goes into your dance music videos, or music videos? Does the whole group brainstorm ideas, setting choreography for the videos, or is that assigned to specific members?
That's a good question. So, it really depends on the concept of the song, and I guess like whose brainchild it is, because a lot of the times our songs come from the place of like, hey, I've got an idea for a song, and we workshop it from there. So usually the person who workshops the idea initially is like, you know, we don't do music videos for every song, but it's usually like, you know, the person or people affiliated with the song, like with the creation of the concept of the song, kind of do like, they come up with the storyboard. Sometimes other members help with that. As for love language, collectively we all have a lot of really cute pastel things, so we kind of just completely decorated my bedroom with as much pastel things as we owned. And then there's that pink studio that we were dancing in. One of the dance studios that we know of just happened to be pink and tie into the theming and coloring of love language, so we were like, perfect. Choreography is done by Rinya. She is our dance captain and choreographs everything herself. So it's kind of, and you know, Pengi for any like graphics to do with the music video, she designs that. So we kind of all have little bits and pieces here and there.
Cool. I mean, like again, like I feel like everyone kind of knows at this point, but like A-MUSE is such a collaborative effort that like everyone has a part to play to like create anything together. It's very nice.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like it makes everything a bit more special that way. Everyone's got a little piece of them in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for your question. Next is by Furret God. Should I save the Korok or stick it to a rocket? Thoughts? Clearly this is a Zelda thing, so what do you think? What are your thoughts on Korok abuse?
I think that you should follow your heart and listen to the voices. Are the voices telling you to strap the Korok to the rocket ship? If so, go for your life. If not, save the Korok. Reunite it with its best friend. Alternatively, you can use the Korok to launch it to its friend. So 2 birds, 1 stone, you know?
So I see. You know, you can do anything to the Korok. They respawn, right? Yeah. If you try to kill them.
Yeah, they do. So yeah, you can launch them into space.
No guilt.
Respawn. It's fine.
Absolutely no guilt. All right, thank you for your question, Furret God. We've got a couple from Artipuff, who is Puffin. So what are your interests and hobbies outside of your idol group?
Ooh, I love this question. Okay, fun fact, I don't do this anymore, but I loved horse riding as a kid. I was a horse girl. Apparently that's really obvious. Every time I say that, people are like, yeah, that checks out, and I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. I'm gonna take it as a compliment, but I really loved horse riding when I was younger. Outside of idols though, I've mentioned musical theater a couple times. I love musical theater. I actually through October am visiting New York, and I'm gonna get to visit see a bunch of musicals, so I love that. We've covered cosplay. Obviously I'm interested in cosplay and sewing, and I love gaming as well, so those would be my outside of A-MUSE hobbies.
Yee. Okay, so the next question we got are, what are your least favorite and most favorite things about performing? I think we can maybe cover a least favorite, if something you haven't mentioned.
Least favorite thing about performing? When I don't eat and drink enough before I perform, and I can feel myself losing energy throughout the performance, and while I'm performing I'm like, this was preventable, you are so naughty, drink more water next time, eat a proper breakfast next time, Kate. That's one of my least favorite things about performing. That one picture of the guy sticking the stick into his bicycle, that's me when I don't eat or drink enough before a live.
Thank you. What advice would you give to other aspiring idols? What's the best way to get started?
Oh, I love this question. All right, so as for advice for aspiring idols, easier said than done, but get over your fear of failure, because failure is how you learn. If you fall over, like, okay, I fell over once at one of it was a massive Sydney show we were doing. I stepped forward to do my solo line and I tripped and fell. And my knee-jerk response was to stick my leg into the air and just sing my line from the ground. So I recovered from it, but like I went backstage and I like bawled my eyes out and I was like, but I fell over. And everyone was like, but you kept going. And it was really funny because you stuck your leg in the air. And that kind of made me stronger as a performer.
Mm-mm-mm.
And I know with singing, a lot of like, okay, you know, playing instruments, like if you press a key on a piano, it's going to sound the same anytime. Like, or if, you know, I've got this recorder here, like that's that.
Oh
that
my
note's
god,
gonna
why
sound
didn't you
the
bring
same
this
no
out
matter what.
earlier?
Yeah. I forgot. You know, like the note on the instrument is going to sound exactly the same, whereas everyone's voice is unique, and so it can be really daunting to find your own voice. And a lot of people, because of that, kind of tend to get in their own head and not practice, or like, because like the single best way you can get better at singing is by recording yourself and listening back, and because your voice sounds different to yourself. And even I still struggle with this sometimes. I'll be like, oh, that doesn't sound very good. And then I'll listen to a recording back and I'm like, actually, it's not bad. Like, you just have brainworms. So you need to not be scared of your own voice. Like, you just have to, it's the same with dancing. Like, I didn't practice dance for ages because I was embarrassed about not being good at it. But you just have to record yourself and look at it. And you can't be afraid of those failures. You have to be like, right, I want to improve. How I have to look at myself dancing so that I know, like, oh, you know, this arm movement here isn't looking quite the way I want it to. You know, you have to. So that's the biggest piece of advice I can give, is just to kind of get out of your own way and just like look at things objectively, because you're not going to be perfect right off the bat. In fact, I don't like perfection. Like, what is perfection? How do you achieve that? Like, it's not a thing. Like, it's, you know, you just have to, yeah, and be kind to yourself. That's like, I guess the other thing is just like be nice to yourself and look at everything as objectively as you possibly can. Just, you know, trust the process. And that's, you know, probably a long-winded answer, but like for a beginner, I reckon that's like the most solid piece of advice I could give. And also like look after yourself, eat well, make sure you're getting enough sleep, all of that fun stuff. What was the second part to that question?
What's the best way to get started? But I will say that is a solid piece of like life advice.
Yeah, I guess that's applicable to anything, not just singing and dancing, right? Get out of your own way and just let yourself learn and struggle and succeed, right? Because you won't know if you don't try. But in terms of
how to get started,
there are often idol groups who are recruiting. Some people choose to be solo idols, so you can either look around for groups that are recruiting, or you know, you can maybe have a chat to a group of friends and see if they're interested, or you can just start your journey as a solo idol. Like, there's so many different possibilities. It just depends on what you're after. But really, like, if you're interested in being an idol and they're like, you know, you're not quite sure where to start, I would say just practice doing song covers and dance covers in your bedroom. You don't need fancy equipment. Like, you can just record songs on your phone microphone, listen to that back, you know, just like get a feel for it. Do some Hatsune Miku dance covers in your bedroom, like, you know, start learning things and keep an eye out for groups that are recruiting. Or maybe you want to start your own group and you can start getting the visuals for it together. And don't be afraid to learn new skills and wear different hats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another question. What's one thing you wish more people knew about being an idol?
Ooh. I think I touched on this earlier, but really, I think I wish people knew that a lot of self-produced idols are just self-produced. So like the people you see on stage, that is the team. There's no management, there's no person, like there's no agent. A lot of the time it's just the people you see on the stage, and they are responsible for doing literally everything. And I think if more people could understand that would be good. Just because like you get a lot of advice like, oh well, why don't you just do this? And it's like, yeah, it would be good if we could just do that, but like there's hurdles, right? So I think like people understanding the hurdles and like what actually goes into it would be my answer to that.
Okay, I'm gonna add a question onto this. If money was not a thing, would you want like a manager or something like that to help take care of things that like are more like busy work?
So this is a really good question, and it's something that we've discussed a lot, and I think ultimately the answer is yes, but it would need to be someone who we would trust to let us have like, because a lot of the time, you know, management can be quite restrictive. We still need to be able to tell the stories that we want to tell through our music and make the things that we want to make. So we would need to find a manager that could work with us on that. And so, like, really we need someone who knows about, like, if we could get someone to be on top of like the nitty gritty things and like booking shows for us, and someone who could handle marketing, like be excellent, but it would have to be someone who we could work with, you know? Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, it's like, oh, if it ever got too big, you'd be like, oh, I kind of miss when we organized it, you know, those feelings. But at the same time, like, there are positives and cons to bring more people in. And I think, like, because you guys are a specific kind of, like, idol culture, I feel like if there was a manager, they would also kind of need to be in the know of, like, what you guys as an idol group require compared to, like, a normal music project.
Yeah, someone who understands the scene and understands what it is that we're trying to do, and try, like, we don't want someone who's just going to like take us and mush us into the mold of like say a pop artist, because we are pop artists, but you know there's still some slight differences in there that need to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, some kind of way to like introduce like the general public about like what you guys are about and like how they can get involved, rather than thinking like, oh, this is kind of strange, and not looking into it deeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I hope it happens. I don't have the answer for it, but you guys are doing amazing. Maybe this is just one step in it. Another thing from Pavin. So, like, what is your favorite food?
Okay. It changes.
Is it lemons?
I love food. I do like food that is like sour. I really like sour flavors. I tried at so there's a night market that we performed at recently called Alien Night Market, and it's like an Asian street food kind of. There's like lots of stalls that sell different food, and I tried hung hulu for the first time, and it's strawberries covered in like coffee, like sugared coffee.
On like a skewer.
It is so delicious. It's so delicious. I tried it first time at the Alien Night Markets, and like honestly, I think that would be one of my favorite foods. It's so tasty.
So you're a sweets girl.
Sweets and sour. In terms of savory, I really like this is gonna sound weird, but I love soup. Like noodle soups especially. Like
soup is good.
Soup is good, and it's like a hug in a bowl. And I know soup can be pretty divisive. Like some people are like, nah, that's a drink. I think it's a food. But particularly like, you know, like ramen counts as a soup. It's a noodle soup, right? So I love.
You know, we can start a poll right now. Is soup a drink or a food?
No food, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Soup is great though. I love soup.
Yeah, soup is great, especially with like a crusty piece of bread. Like, oh, so yummy. Can I vote? I'm voting food.
Oh, okay. You go vote in that poll.
I'm throwing the vote.
All right. Well, thank you so much for all those questions. Next up, we have a question from Moonlit Cafe. We got 3 more to go. What's your favorite kind of dance? Like the kind of dance that you'd be happy to do anywhere, whether on your own or performing? I guess style of dance?
So, as someone who did not start off as a dancer, I really like the things that I like dancing to come from my love of the song itself. Even if it's a song without a dance, like sometimes I will just start dancing along to things. Like if it's a song that I can really get behind, I can't help but dance. Whether that's a song that I just make up the dance to, or whether it's one of our songs that like a cover song. Just my favorite type of dance is one to a song that I love.
Yeah. That's nice. I feel like that that opens up so many possibilities, but also it's like you just have fun with it.
Yeah, I know it's not quite the answer that was probably that they were probably looking for, but I don't really have a specific style that I enjoy. I just like me, the music comes first and foremost.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for your question. Next one is by Scarlet Rook, who is actually in the chat, I believe. So how do you balance everyone's schedules in order to make practices and do performances? Also, since A-MUSE is about to hit its 10th anniversary soon, what are some of your fondest memories with the group?
I love this question. Thank you, Scarlet Rook. In order to balance everyone's schedules, it does get really difficult. But we, like I said earlier, Thursday is kind of our set practice night. Like that is the night that we get together. So that's one way. We also keep a shared calendar and I don't know if any of you guys use the calendar app Timetree, but we use Timetree and all have access to this calendar. And we've got two separate calendars. We've got one for A-MUSE events, so shows, practices, any scheduled group meetings go in there. And then we have a separate calendar that we all put our individual schedules into. So if one of us is going to be away, or if one of us has a concert, or we're doing abnormal hours at work or something like that, we put that in, and then you can view the two calendars together. And so if we need to schedule something out of the ordinary, like outside of the regular scope of our schedule, we kind of look and say, okay, well, it looks like we can do this day or this morning, or that we can do something in the evening on this day.
That's so organized.
Really, calendars is like the best way for us to manage that, and it does get difficult. And sometimes you look at it and it's like, right, so we can't get together and meet until 3 weeks time. That does happen sometimes, but that's how we manage it. And there was a second part to that question.
Since A-MUSE is going to hit 10th anniversary sometime soon, what are your fondest memories with the group?
Yeah. So one that I haven't talked about yet today is a few years ago, we were invited to perform at a convention called Capricorn in Rockhampton, which is in North Queensland. And we flew out, they put us up in a hotel, and we did an hour set at this rural convention, and it was so much fun. And we were there a night early, so before the con we get to kind of explore Rockhampton, and they had a horse-drawn carriage that you could pay to get taken for a ride in. And we all piled into this little horse-drawn carriage and got taken around the city, and they played like really loud country music. Like there's a video of us in the carriage, and as we're driving away they start playing Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. It was like various like horse songs as we were being driven around in the carriage. So that's one
Save
of my
a horse, ride a cowboy?
Yeah, I know. Like we're in the carriage going, what is this? But it was so much fun. I also have a very soft spot. So we performed at the Eka last year and again this year. Those performances are always really fun because we go and we do our show, and then we get changed out of our idol outfits, and then we're off duty and we get to run around and just enjoy each other's company. We've started doing this thing called Showbag Secret Santa, where we because do you guys have like shows like the Eka, and they have different show bags and there's different themes? Like there's some for food. There was like a bluey show bag this year.
I mean, when it comes to show bags, I only think of the Easter show.
Yeah, I think it's probably similar to the Easter show.
Mm-mm.
That we do Showbag Secret Santa where each of us gets mystery allocated another member like regular Secret Santa, and we have like half an hour to run into the Showbag Pavilion and buy a Showbag for that person. And then we present them all to each other afterwards. We made a vlog for our Patreon of the Eka last year, and we'll make another one for it this year. We filmed Showbag Secret Santa again. It was very fun. So, yeah.
That's so cute.
It's hard to pick just one memory, and I feel like every time I get asked this question, I come up with like 4 different answers.
But that's like
because there's
good.
just so much. But yeah, that's my answer for today.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think the water performance, like in the middle of the lake, and the cute effect performance are probably going to go down in history though as like 2 of my faves.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scarlett, for the question. And then the last one we've got
you.
from the audience is from Spotty Lottie, who's also in the audience right now. When is the
Thank you,
next
Spotty
Brisbane
Lottie.
performance? Because Google won't give me anything.
The next performance is actually coming up on the 15th of September, and we are performing at Mirai Night, which is a nightclub event that's happening right before Oz Comic Con. So come and see us at that. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Wait a second. You keep talking for a bit. I'm going to go find the picture of that and then put that in our slideshow right now.
Oh, thanks, Khee. But yeah, Spotty Lottie, what day were you at the there at the Friday? And it was a lot of fun, and we got to milk a cow, and I got to pat all sorts of baby animals. There was this one goat that kept this goat was absolutely feral. It was standing on this tire, and you would go to give it a pat and it would just bite and lick your fingers, and it happened to everyone. Everyone was like being absolutely consumed by this one evil goat, and then it tried to escape. Yeah, little extra things. It was very fun. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else is an Eka enjoyer, but it's always very fun, and we got to go on lots of rides and stuff like that. There it is, Mirai Nights. Yeah, and
on the 15th
keep an
of
eye out
September.
for our socials. We haven't announced it yet, but there are some other events happening around that same weekend. So keep an eye out for our socials. We'll be announcing things very, very soon.
Yeah, everyone make sure to bring your pen lights to this event.
Yes, bring them along.
Oh gosh. Okay. We're wrapping up the audience questions now, so I'm wondering if you have a question for me.
Question for Khee.
For me.
Is there a concept for a song or anything like that that you would like to see from A-MUSE?
Oh, would I like to see?
Yeah.
I guess.
The MIDA concept.
Oh hell yeah! You know, if we're not being serious, we're very silly little guys. Yeah, should definitely sing about your. Oh, you know what? On that vein, maybe it should be about like, fictional characters that you should not obsess over, but are unable to, control yourself. You'd be like, oh, my toxic relationship with a fictional character. That's what the song should be. You would like, oh, he's so bad, but he's 2D.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's what I would want an idol song about.
Yeah.
But then you would it would also be deep because you're like, oh, but I'm an idol, you know. It's like, but it wouldn't be like the Japanese thing where it's like you can't date anyone. It's like I can't date anyone, so the only one I can have a relationship is with a 2D boy.
Is with Nagito Kamaida.
Yeah. That's the song of the century, and then it'll go viral on TikTok because everyone will be like, "Oh my god, I too have feelings for a fictional boy."
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I think you should be a marketing manager.
Oh my god, song ideas.
Yeah, you're hired.
and you come up with the catchy beat behind it.
Yeah.
Fictional men.
Exactly.
Fictional men. I love them.
Yeah. Together, we are unstoppable.
Yep. Everyone can write the lyrics right now. Well, thank you. That was a great question. I love the answer.
Yeah.
We also have 2 questions from our previous guest, who was Mickey Robbins.
Ooh.
Have you actually
Okay.
heard of Mickey Robbins' songs, since it's Danganronpa and Vocaloid related?
I haven't. I did like have a little bit of a look at their interview, but no, I hadn't heard of their stuff before.
You should definitely go check it out. They make Danganronpa character fan songs with Vocaloid and
nice.
stuff. You should definitely check it out
That's
later.
So cool.
But
Yeah.
basically, Mickey asked, if you could become any character from Danganronpa and you had to dance as them, who would you choose?
Ooh. I love that question. I had to dance as the character. So Sayaka's an obvious choice because she literally is an idol. There are other characters. Oh no, you know what? I would pick Kamida because of that the fingers in his ass, and also the what the hell video, you know, the classic.
Oh, the
Kamida.
iconic
Oh, my
MMD.
life. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do Kamida because of the MMD videos.
Okay, listen, Kate, next time you are on stage as an idol, like idol cosplay event, and you have to cosplay Kamida.
I do. Yeah, I'll do it for you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, no. You don't have to. You don't have to promise that. That would be so funny. Okay, and the second question from Mickey was, if you could choose a Danganronpa character to have a dance battle against, who would it be and why?
Am I trying to win the dance battle?
You could have any motivation.
Who would be the funniest to watch dance?
Would that be a
I wanna
bad
dance against-
dancer?
No. I want to dance against Kaido. That would be really funny.
You think he could dance? Do you
No,
think he could
I
dance
think
well?
He'd try. He'd be like, let's go. Oh, no.
My bones.
no, I think it'd be funny.
Actually,
Yeah.
oh, I'm tired today.
Yeah.
That would be fun. He'd summon Shuichi to dance for him.
Yeah. No, I love that. Scarlet Rook, I want to dance against Ishimaru.
He does like
No,
the
I want to
little
dance against both
awkward
of them as a
dance.
duo. Yeah. Yeah, I want to dance against Ishimaru as a duo.
He'd probably
and
be
for
like the
second
robot.
game,
He's
who
like,
would I
haha.
pick? Yeah. From
I-
SDR2, I want to dance battle with Gundam.
Ooh. Oh my god, I can like the Devas are dancing
yeah.
too.
Yeah, you get the Devas to dance along as well.
That'd be so funny.
Oh, that would be
the
iconic.
Devas become divas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. All right. Well, thank you to
Yeah.
Vicky for those questions. We are going to move on to the next section where it's time to reveal the next guest for Cheese next month. So I always ask my guest, would you please give me a drum roll?
Here, I'll do a recorder drum roll.
Wow, that's the best. Thank you. So
welcome.
it's time for the next guest. Next month, our 9th Cheese to Meet You guest will be... Ta-da! It's gonna be John Awesome. That's such a funny drum roll. Thank you so much, Kate. But yeah,
You're so welcome.
next month we're gonna be interviewing John from John Awesome. And it is your turn to now give him a question. So he is I would say he's most well known for doing Let's Plays on YouTube. He's a Persona / Danganronpa man. I think he's really into Yokai Watch, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be having him for next month. Any questions for him?
Yes. Okay. So I was having a little bit of a look through stuff earlier, and it does seem like we have. I haven't played a lot of the games that he's played, but it does seem like we have similar interests in games. I want to know what his favorite would be and why, and if there's one that he would recommend.
Ooh, like specifically to you?
Generally.
Generally. Okay, a must-play
Yeah.
game for people who've never tried it,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice. I think it was cute because like you stream now and he's a let's player, so I was like, there's the
Yeah.
connecting tissue. There's the connecting tissue.
I guess on that note, I wonder if he would ever try doing a live stream. I don't know if he has or not, and he does let's plays, but like, you know, I wonder if he would ever give it a go.
I think he does do live streams on Twitch.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, well, I answered for him.
Yeah, well, I'll have to go follow.
All right. Well, thank you, Kate.
Yeah.
I should go back to the gallery bit because I wanted to show off all your socials where people can find you. So you do have your Twitter, which is Kate.
Yes.
K8
Kate
the Soot.
Kate the Soot, which is different to all of my other platforms. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I think you have do you have a card or something where all the links are?
Oh, yes. Would you like me to get it for you?
Yeah, sure, that'd be great. And then you can put that in the you can
grab
pop
it
that
here.
into the chat. But yeah, everyone say thank you. Say thank you to Kate for being such a wonderful guest. I feel like, you know, we've all got a very good idea of like what you do, and you've been like so wonderful at explaining and like going through, and I feel like you're just such a charming person as well, Kate.
Aww,
I hope everyone
thank you, Khee.
I hope everyone who's
Right back at you.
watched this stream has really like enjoyed learning about you if they had no idea who you were beforehand, and like, I don't know, gotten some insight into what you do and like the struggles of an idol.
No, it's been very fun talking with you, and thank you for interviewing me. It was very fun.
Yeah. At the same time, everyone should also go check out A-MUSE and support them however you can, if you would like to. And also, if you are going to be able to be present at the next show in September, definitely go support and cheer for A-MUSE.
Yes,
because it's been wonderful to talk to you, and I tell all my guests that like Cheese to Meet You is basically my excuse to get to spend time with people that I want to talk to.
Yeah.
And like clearly like I don't know how I feel about like interviewing someone that I've never talked to before, so I don't know. This is kind of nice because like for A-MUSE, of course, like I see you guys when you're at conventions, and we see each other when we're at conventions and talk to each other at my table and stuff. But it's like I haven't been able to get like fully involved with A-MUSE's activities. But I thought this was very sweet and nice, and I loved talking to you. It was very kind for you to like give me your time. In your very
like
busy week.
Like, yeah, I do have a very busy week. I'm getting married in 1 week, so I'm kind of all over the place at the moment.
Yeah, come on everyone.
Crazy.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Throw some like bouquet emojis in the chat right now.
Yahoo!
But like I remember because I asked you, I was like, are you sure you could do a thing? You're about to get married. And you were like, yeah. It's like, okay,
right, we got it.
okay.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
But yeah, you're such a bubbly, kind person with a lot of maturity when it comes to like about yourself and what you want out of life, and how you, I don't know, your relationships with people and what you value out of like your whole experience. So again, like I really want to just thank you for coming on to Cheese to Meet You with me today and spending some time with me
really
out of your busy schedule. But yeah, thank you for being here, and thank you everyone in the audience for coming to watch this and getting to know Kate, because I know not everyone here even knows about A-MUSE beforehand.
Yeah, well, I'm cheesed to meet every single one of you.
Yes, very cheesed. And if you do stream tomorrow, hopefully some people will go check it out on Twitch.
Yay! Yes,
I'll be there
might
if
be
I
doing
have the time.
karaoke. Maybe,
Yes.
yeah. Maybe we'll sing. Maybe we'll not sing. We'll see how we go.
All right. Well,
Is that
let's
a
wrap it
pregnant
up.
emoji in chat? Is that,
Yes.
is that what that is?
I see that too.
Not quite. Yeah, not quite, friends. Not. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, yeah. No, you guys have been great. You guys have been awesome. And Khee, like I was saying earlier, big fan of your work for a very long time. So to get to chat with you has been really fun.
Thank you. I'm very happy to hear that, and I appreciate you so much, Kate.
Yeah, no, right back at you.
So we're gonna wrap up today. Thank you everyone for being here. Make sure to go support Kate and AMUSE, and thank you for coming to Cheese to Meet You number 8. And we were saying, like, isn't that great that you're also K8bit? Like, we didn't even plan that. You're the 8th guest.
Yeah, K8, 8th guest. Whoa.
Wow, it was fate. Alright,
Yes.
thank you everyone, and we'll see you later or
Bye,
next time.
everyone.
Or wherever. Go support AMUSE and Kate. Alright, thank you everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Oops, you want to say that again? You said big love, but I cut it off.
Big love, everybody. Goodbye.
Okay,
Goodbye.
bye.